In the late summer of 1888, a series of grisly murders took place in the Whitechapel district of London. These brutal attacks caught the attention of the world and became synonymous with the mysterious figure later known as Jack the Ripper. The crimes took place within a relatively short period, spanning from August to November, and involved the horrific killings of 5 women, although some believe there may have been more victims. The women targeted were primarily from the lower strata of society, poor, often homeless, and involved in prostitution. Their lives were characterized by hardship and struggle, living in one of the most impoverished areas of London during a time of significant social upheaval. Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly are often noted as the canonical 5 victims of the Ripper. Mary Ann Nichols was the first victim, discovered on August 31, 1888. Her body was found in Bucks Row, now Durward Street. She had been brutally slashed, her throat cut twice, and her abdomen mutilated. This marked the beginning of what would become one of the most infamous crime sprees in history. Annie Chapman was the second victim, killed just days later on September 8th. She was found in the backyard of 29 Hanbury Street and had suffered similar injuries to those found on Mary Ann Nichols. Her throat was cut, and her abdomen was mutilated even more severely. The killer had shown a clear escalation in violence and savagery. Elizabeth Stride was discovered on September 30th, and her case took an unexpected turn. Unlike the previous victims, her body bore no evidence of mutilation. This led to speculation that her murder may not have been the work of the same individual, but rather a deliberate attempt by the killer to mislead investigators. Catherine Eddowes was murdered on the same night as Elizabeth Stride, just over an hour later. Her body was found in Mitre Square, and she bore extensive injuries. This double event on the same night led to a frenzy of panic in the public and increased police activity in the area. Eddowes had suffered an even more savage mutilation, indicating that the Ripper's methods were becoming increasingly brutal. Finally, Mary Jane Kelly, the last of the canonical 5, was killed on November 9th in her own lodging room at Miller's Court. The scene was horrific. Her body was discovered in a state of dismemberment, with extensive mutilations that suggested a level of brutality not seen in the earlier killings. The sheer violence of this murder made it one of the most infamous crime scenes in history. The investigation into these murders became one of the largest and most publicized manhunts in Victorian London. The police received over 1,000 letters, some claiming to be from the Ripper himself, although most were dismissed as hoaxes. One letter, famously known as the Dear Boss letter, signed Jack the Ripper, contained taunting messages and described in detail the killer's actions, raising the public's curiosity and fears. This letter contributed to the name that would forever haunt the annals of criminal history. Despite the extensive efforts of investigators, the true identity of Jack the Ripper remains unsolved. Numerous theories and potential suspects have been put forward throughout the years, including prominent figures such as doctors, aristocrats, and even a member of the royal family. Yet, no definitive evidence has ever surfaced to confirm any of these suspicions. The case has continued to intrigue criminologists, historians, and the general public alike. The Ripper's ability to evade capture even amidst the scrutiny of a bustling city fueled the fascination with the case. Various theories have emerged, with some suggesting that the Ripper was a surgeon due to the precise nature of the mutilations, while others argue that he may have been someone familiar with the Whitechapel area. As time passed, the mythos surrounding Jack the Ripper grew. Through books, films, and numerous documentaries, the mystery has been explored from various angles. Each theory offers something different, but at its core, there remains the unifying question of who the Ripper really was. The impact of these murders extended beyond the immediate brutality of the acts themselves. They highlighted the social realities of the time, including the dire conditions faced by women in Victorian society. Public fascination with the case shone a light on issues of poverty, gender inequality, and the struggles of women who often found themselves marginalized and vulnerable. Whitechapel underwent significant changes in the years that followed the murders. The infamous Ripper case initiated conversations about policing, urban safety, and social reform. Efforts were made to improve conditions in slums, but the shadows of poverty and crime still loomed large over the area. As of today, Whitechapel embraces its infamous past, with guided tours and interactive exhibits that explore the Ripper's legacy. Residents and visitors alike are drawn into the harrowing tales of the lives lost, and the foggy streets serve as a backdrop for a darker chapter in London's rich history. Jack the Ripper has transcended mere historical significance. The fear and intrigue surrounding the monstrous figure have made him a cultural icon of horror, inspiring countless fictional adaptations that continue to this day. The juxtaposition of danger and attraction plays into the human psyche, sparking a complex mix of dread and fascination. In the endless search for answers, the case serves as a reminder of society's struggles over the years, regarding crime, fear, and the search for truth in the face of darkness. It challenges us to consider the deeper narratives at play: societal pressures, the struggles of the vulnerable, and the intricate web of human behavior that leads to unspeakable acts. As we ponder the events of that fateful time, the question lingers: what does it mean to find closure when a mystery remains forever unsolved? The case of Jack the Ripper will continue to live on, a chilling testament to the darkness of humanity, echoing through the years in truly haunting fashion. Through exploration of this case, we gain a deeper understanding of not only the history of crime, but also the societal conditions that gave rise to such tragedy. History teaches us to revisit our past, to learn from it, and to ensure that such narratives transform into lessons that guide us, instilling hope amidst the fears of our own human condition. The enduring enigma surrounding Jack the Ripper is a reflection of our enduring curiosity about the darkest corners of human nature. With each new investigation, book, or film inspired by his terrifying legacy, we delve deeper into the possibilities of who he might have been and why he committed such atrocious acts. As society evolves, the lessons from Whitechapel remind us to maintain vigilance over the marginalized and to offer awareness and support where it is needed most. While the identity of Jack the Ripper remains locked in the past, the story encourages an exploration of the complexity of life itself, the intersections of love and hatred, safety and danger, hope and despair. It serves as a timeless reminder that even in the shadows of history, there lies the opportunity for better understanding and connection to human experience through the lens of empathy. As we reflect on the chilling events, we are tasked not only with unraveling the mystery of one man's identity, but also with confronting the deeper structures of society that allow such tragedies to occur. In doing so, we honor the memory of those who were lost and continue the quest for understanding in our ongoing narrative of humanity. The Bermuda Triangle, a region in the North Atlantic Ocean, has captured the imagination of people for decades. This infamous area is roughly bounded by Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, and is often associated with mysterious disappearances of ships and planes. The stories surrounding the triangle are filled with intrigue, theories, and legends that provoke curiosity and wonder. The history of the Bermuda Triangle dates back to the time of Christopher Columbus, who reported encountering strange compass readings and experiencing peculiar lighting in the skies while sailing through the area. Columbus's account set the stage for decades of speculation about the nature of this enigmatic region. One of the most notable incidents happened in December 1945, when 5 Navy bombers, known as Flight 19, vanished during a training mission. The pilots reported that they were disoriented, unable to find their bearings amid the unusual conditions. Despite search operations and an extensive rescue effort, neither the planes nor the crew members were ever found. This event only added to the growing list of strange occurrences in the Bermuda Triangle. Over the years, numerous vessels have also met similar fates. One such case involves the USS Cyclops, a Navy cargo ship that disappeared in 1918 while traveling from Barbados to the United States. The ship was carrying over 300 men and tons of cargo but vanished without a trace. The mystery surrounding the Cyclops remains unsolved to this day, leading to various theories about its fate. In 1970, the disappearance of a small cargo ship named the MV Ashkelon added to the region's lore. The ship vanished while en route to Miami, carrying a cargo of construction materials. Despite a massive search effort, no wreckage was ever found. The incident raised questions about the safety of maritime travel through the Bermuda Triangle, fueling the idea that something otherworldly might be at play. Numerous theories have emerged over the years to explain the enigmatic disappearances. Some suggest that violent weather patterns, such as hurricanes and rogue waves, create treacherous conditions for vessels and aircraft. The Gulf Stream, a powerful ocean current, can also rapidly sweep away debris from wrecks, making it difficult to locate any signs of missing ships or planes. Another popular theory revolves around methane hydrates, a type of natural gas found beneath the ocean floor. It is believed that if these hydrates were to suddenly release, they could create large gas bubbles, reducing the buoyancy of a ship and causing it to sink. This theory offers a scientific explanation for some of the incidents, but it remains one of many possibilities. The Bermuda Triangle is also home to numerous underwater geological formations that can create unpredictable conditions. Seamounts, underwater volcanoes, and other unique features of the ocean floor contribute to the complexity of navigation in the area. The irregular seafloor can create unexpected currents and waves, posing additional challenges for mariners. In popular culture, the Bermuda Triangle has been featured in numerous books, documentaries, and films, amplifying its mystique. At times, it has been portrayed as a place of supernatural forces or extraterrestrial activity. While these narratives capture the imagination, they often overshadow the more plausible explanations grounded in natural science. Traveling through the Bermuda Triangle invites an array of questions about the unknown. What truly happens to those who disappear? How many mysteries lie beneath the waves, waiting to be uncovered? These questions haunt adventurers, sailors, and travelers alike, encouraging some to explore the area while others remain wary. Despite its reputation, it's important to note that many aircraft and vessels have successfully traversed the Bermuda Triangle, completing their journeys without incident. Statistical analyses suggest that this region does not have a higher frequency of accidents compared to other heavily traveled areas of the ocean. However, the stories of those that vanished continue to be a subject of fascination. Explorers and researchers continue to delve into the mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle. Some seek to find conclusive evidence to support or debunk the various theories, while others simply wish to experience the sense of adventure that the region promises. Each journey yields new stories, insights, and, at times, more mystery. Throughout the years, individuals fascinated by the Bermuda Triangle have spun countless theories, each adding a layer to the narrative. Some assert that the triangle acts as a portal to other dimensions or times, while others incorporate mythological elements, suggesting that the spirits of lost vessels linger, entwined with the waters. Whichever perspective one may take, the Bermuda Triangle remains a symbol of curiosity, drawing individuals seeking to understand the mysteries of the universe. It is a reminder of how much there is yet to uncover about our world, and how even the vast, familiar oceans can hold secrets waiting to be discovered. Whether exploring the knowledge available or engaging in tales of adventure, the Bermuda Triangle encourages a sense of wonder about nature's power. The stories of the lost ships and planes reflect humanity's enduring quest for answers in a world full of mysteries, making it a captivating topic for generations to come. As you navigate through life, perhaps the allure of such enigmas reminds us that there is more than meets the eye. Nature is filled with great wonders and unpredictable phenomena, echoing that curiosity is an integral part of human experience. The stories of the Bermuda Triangle echo the adventure inherent in the unknown, begging for exploration and exploration of new realms, both in nature and within ourselves. In closing, let this tale of the Bermuda Triangle serve as a prompt to nurture curiosity and engagement with the mysteries around us. Whether through travel, exploration, or storytelling, each experience offers the chance to encounter the unknown, inspiring individuals to seek their adventures and marvel at the grandeur of our world. New discoveries are always on the horizon, waiting for those willing to embark on the journey to explore the unexplained. And the ocean, with all of its vastness, continues to invite explorers and adventurers into its depths. Amelia Earhart was not just an aviation pioneer, she became a symbol of courage and adventure for women around the world. Born in 1897 in Atchison, Kansas, Earhart displayed an adventurous spirit from a young age. Her love for flying ignited when she took her first plane ride in 1920 at a fairground in California. The experience left her captivated, and she took her first flying lesson just a year later, paving the way for a remarkable career. By the time the 1930s rolled around, Earhart had already made headlines. She became the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean in 1932, earning her a place in the history books and the admiration of many. She was more than just a skilled aviator. She was a passionate advocate for women's rights and economic independence. Through her writing and public speaking, she inspired countless individuals to pursue their own dreams, regardless of societal expectations. In the spring of 1937, Earhart embarked on her most ambitious project yet, an attempt to circumnavigate the globe. This journey was fraught with challenges, as it involved flying a complex route that covered approximately 29,000 miles. Amelia's aircraft, the Lockheed Electra 10E, was specially equipped for the trek. It boasted advanced navigation instruments and was built for long-distance flights. Accompanying her on this journey was her navigator Fred Noonan, who was also an experienced pilot known for his skills in navigation. The duo set off on their historic journey from Oakland, California on June 1, 1937. Their route took them to a series of stops around the world, including places like Miami, South America, Africa, and Asia. Each leg of the journey brought its own challenges, and Earhart and Noonan faced weather delays, mechanical issues, and navigational difficulties. Nonetheless, they persevered, and by early July, they had successfully completed most of their trip. On July 2, 1937, Amelia and Fred set off from Lae, New Guinea, with their sights set on Howland Island, a tiny patch of land in the central Pacific Ocean, about 2,556 miles away. This leg of the journey would be particularly critical, as Howland Island was one of the last scheduled stops before they completed their circumnavigation. Amelia had previously expressed concerns over the reliability of their navigation equipment, but she remained determined to press on. As the day unfolded, conditions were less than ideal. The weather was unpredictable, cloud cover hampered visibility, and the vast expanse of the ocean offered no landmarks for reference. Amelia and her navigator quickly realized that they were having difficulty getting their bearings. Despite their best efforts, communication with the Coast Guard, who was monitoring their progress, became sporadic. Halfway through the flight, they reassured the Coast Guard via radio that they would make it to Howland. However, as the hours passed, it became increasingly clear that something was amiss. Earhart's last recorded transmission indicated that they were low on fuel and unable to pinpoint their exact location. The urgency in her voice was palpable, but as time went on, those on the ground waited in vain for a signal. The radio silence that followed sparked concern. Air traffic controllers, aircraft in the vicinity, and concerned citizens all anxiously awaited news. When Earhart and Noonan failed to reach Howland Island, a massive search operation was initiated. Over 100 ships and aircraft poured into the Pacific, scouring the waters in hopes of finding any trace of the missing aviators. The search area was vast, and limited technology made this rescue mission particularly challenging. Days turned into weeks, and hope began to wane. Ultimately, after a thorough and exhausting search lasting more than 2 weeks, the official search was called off. Despite numerous theories and speculation about what might have happened, no conclusive evidence was ever found. The disappearance of Amelia Earhart remains one of the greatest mysteries in aviation history. Various theories have been proposed over the years, each adding an intriguing layer to the story. Some believe that Amelia's aircraft may have crashed into the ocean due to mechanical failure or miscalculation in navigation. Others speculate that the plane was simply lost at sea, its wreckage swallowed by the vastness of the Pacific. Other theories suggest that Amelia might have landed on an uninhabited island, possibly Gardner Island, where she and Noonan tried to survive. Over the years, expeditions have sought to uncover the truth. Some have claimed to discover evidence of Earhart's presence on various islands, such as pieces of her airplane or other artifacts. Despite these claims, none have been definitively proven. Adding to this intrigue, Amelia's legacy continues to captivate generations. Biographies, documentaries, and films have examined her life and her disappearance. Through these explorations, scholars and fans alike have delved into her adventurous spirit, fearless pursuits, and the lasting impact she made on the field of aviation and women's rights. Her story serves as a reminder of the courage it takes to chase dreams despite the unknown. Amelia Earhart's incredible journey and tragic end resonate with many. They highlight not only her achievements, but also the uncertainties that come with adventuring into uncharted territories. While her physical presence may have vanished over the ocean, her spirit and legacy continue to inspire those who dare to dream, explore, and venture beyond the horizon. Whether soaring through the skies or navigating life's complexities, Amelia's example reminds us all of the importance of resilience, bravery, and the pursuit of passion. In the heart of Los Angeles, during the early hours of January 15, 1947, an event occurred that would captivate the public's imagination for decades to come. This is the story of Elizabeth Short, a woman whose life was tragically cut short, leading to one of the most infamous unsolved murders in American history, the case of the Black Dahlia. Elizabeth Short, born on July 29, 1924, in Hyde Park, Boston, had dreams of becoming an actress. Her early years were marked by a tumultuous family life, including her father's abandonment of the family when she was just a child. As she grew older, she moved to California to pursue her dreams, settling in Los Angeles. While struggling to find her place in Hollywood, she became known for her striking beauty, long dark hair, pale skin, and striking blue eyes. Elizabeth was often seen wearing all black clothing, which earned her the moniker the Black Dahlia, reportedly inspired by a movie titled The Blue Dahlia that was released in 1946. As Elizabeth navigated the challenges of life in Los Angeles, she stayed in various boarding houses and developed a reputation among friends as a vibrant, ambitious young woman. Unfortunately, her rise in the social scene came with its share of complications, including relationships with numerous men and a life fraught with hardship. Friends and acquaintances described her as a complex individual, full of life yet often struggling against the odds. On that fateful January morning in 1947, Elizabeth's body was discovered in Leimert Park, a serene area of Los Angeles. However, what awaited the discovery was horrifying. Her body had been brutally mutilated and posed with a disturbing precision, leaving investigators and the public in shock. It was a scene like nothing ever seen before. A young woman, only 22 years old, had met a violent and gruesome end. The details of the crime scene were horrifying. Elizabeth's body was cut in half at the waist, with her organs removed and placed beneath her. Her face had been slashed, creating an unsettling grimace, and her legs were arranged in an unnatural and theatrical fashion. The police who arrived at the scene were taken aback. It was evident that this was no random act of violence. Whoever had committed this crime had a cold and calculating demeanor. Investigators quickly began piecing together Elizabeth's last movements before her death. It was established that she had last been seen in the company of a man in a bar in downtown Los Angeles just days before her body was found. Despite numerous leads and tips, each point led only to further dead ends. The mystery deepened as Elizabeth's past emerged, revealing connections to various individuals, some of whom were scrutinized by the police as potential suspects. Media coverage of the case exploded, turning Elizabeth Short into a sensational figure and sparking nationwide interest. The press, hungry for details, sensationalized the story, breathing life into a narrative that painted Elizabeth in different lights, ranging from a tragic victim to a seductress. Articles, headlines, and even a series of letters signed by the Black Dahlia Avenger started to emerge, further complicating the investigation. The letters taunted police, often claiming to have information about the case. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the investigation continued, but showed little progress towards finding the murderer. Frustrated by the lack of answers, the public began to speculate wildly. Theories ranged from the involvement of a deranged serial killer to possible links with Hollywood elites. Citizens formed clubs, held meetings, and engaged in discussions trying to connect the dots of Elizabeth's life and the horrific end she met. Numerous suspects were identified throughout the investigation. Some were acquainted with Elizabeth, while others were merely conjectured as opportunistic individuals drawn to the burgeoning scandal. Among these suspects was George Hodel, a physician with links to Hollywood circles. His past and psychological profile aligned unsettlingly well with aspects of the crime, yet no definitive proof was found to incriminate him. In the wake of the investigation, a series of challenges continued to surface for authorities. The technology of the time was limited, hindering the forensic capabilities of law enforcement. This led to an abundance of theories, opinions, and narrative speculations. The case gradually turned into a captivating echoes of the past, as authors, filmmakers, and artists attempted to reconstruct Elizabeth's story through various mediums, making her a symbol of mystery and tragedy. Thus, Elizabeth Short became not only a victim, but a cultural phenomenon, representing the darker side of the dream of fame. Her case served as a haunting reminder of the fragility of life, the dangers lurking beneath the surface, and the unanswered questions that often follow violent tragedy. The case of the Black Dahlia has inspired countless documentaries, films, and books, each retelling the story with its unique perspective, keeping Elizabeth's memory alive even decades after her passing. To this day, the murder remains unsolved, an open wound in the history of Los Angeles, shrouded in mystery and intrigue. The lack of answers has led to endless speculation, fueling conspiracy theories and even a morbid fascination around the unsolved case. While many believe justice has never been served, Elizabeth Short continues to captivate the hearts and minds of those intrigued by true crime, reminding the audience of a life lost too soon and the shadows that often accompany the bright lights of fame. In recounting the tale of Elizabeth Short, we encounter various human emotions: sorrow, fascination, anger, and an unyielding desire to understand. The narrative of the Black Dahlia is one of tragedy that reflects the complexity and often dark aspects of human nature. As we piece together the fragments of this notorious case, we are left with a profound sense of loss, a mystery that endures through the ages, resonating with all who dare to delve into its depths. Through the decades, even the most determined investigators have been unable to unravel the threads of this enigmatically woven story. Elizabeth Short's passing left many unanswered questions, and the echoes of her story resonate through the corridors of history. Each year, new voices emerge, bringing new theories and insights about her life and death, ensuring that the story of the Black Dahlia will not fade into obscurity. The allure of the dark narrative surrounding Elizabeth Short's demise lies not only in the shocking nature of the crime itself, but also in the reflections it prompts about society, fame, and the vulnerability of those who chase dreams. Her legacy serves as a reminder that beneath the facade of glamour can lie a haunting reality, intertwining the hopes and heartaches of countless individuals drawn to the bright lights of Hollywood. As the years go by and new evidence remains elusive, the case of Elizabeth Short continues to be a chilling exploration of loss, mystery, and the relentless pursuit of truth. The story of the Mary Celeste, an abandoned ship discovered adrift in the Atlantic Ocean in 1872, continues to capture the imagination of many. The ship's tale is one shrouded in mystery and intrigue, fueling countless theories and speculations over the years. The Mary Celeste was built in 1861 in Spencer's Island, Nova Scotia, and was initially launched under the name Amazon. The ship was a brigantine, meaning it had 2 masts, both rigged for sailing. After a few years of service, it would change hands several times before its fate would take a dramatic turn. In 1872, it set sail from New York City, bound for Genoa, Italy, carrying a cargo of denatured alcohol. On board the Mary Celeste were Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and a crew of 7 experienced sailors. The ship was well equipped, and in good condition for the journey ahead. The first few days at sea were uneventful, but as they progressed into the Atlantic, the weather began to take a turn. The crew prepared for a long passage, and used their skills to navigate through the increasing turbulence. It was November 5, 1872, when the Mary Celeste was spotted by the crew of the ship Dei Gratia, a British vessel that had also left from New York. Captain David Morehouse and his crew noticed the Mary Celeste was sailing erratically, showing signs of neglect. As they approached, the crew of Dei Gratia felt a sense of something being ominously off about the deserted ship. They promptly boarded the Mary Celeste to investigate, and found a shocking scene. The first indications of trouble came when the crew of Dei Gratia noticed that the ship was completely deserted, with no sign of the crew or Captain Briggs and his family. They found the ship's sails partially raised and its cargo intact, but discovered no trace of the captain, crew, or passengers. A single lifeboat was missing, further fueling speculation about what might have happened. The cabin was untouched, with the captain's things still present, and the galley was stocked with food and water, enough for an extended period. There was no sign of any struggle or violence, which further mystified the situation. The only clue that seemed to provide a hint of what might have taken place was the ship's logbook. The last entry was dated 10 days prior to the ship's discovery, showing that everything had been normal up until then. As word of the Mary Celeste spread, theories about the crew's disappearance began to arise. Some speculated that a sudden emergency might have forced Captain Briggs and the crew to evacuate the ship in a hurry. Others proposed more sensational explanations, including tales of piracy, mutiny, or even supernatural occurrences. Some even suggested that the cargo of alcohol could have caused fumes that led to panic among the crew. Theories about the fate of the Mary Celeste and its crew are numerous and varied. For example, one theory suggests that the ship may have been struck by a waterspout, leading the crew to believe the ship was in danger and forcing them to abandon ship. Others point to the possibility of a slow leak or damage that went unnoticed, prompting a hasty exit. Each hypothesis carries its own stories and scenarios, intriguing historians and casual observers alike. Despite investigations and ongoing theories, no conclusive evidence about what happened to the crew was ever found. Various expeditions and researchers took an interest in the Mary Celeste over the decades, but none yielded a definitive answer. The ship itself continued to have a life of its own, eventually being sold to different owners and serving various purposes, though its most memorable legacy remains its mysterious abandonment. The fate of the Mary Celeste has become a lingering question in maritime history. It serves as a captivating reminder of the unknowns of the ocean and the myriad tales that lie beneath the waves. It invites us to imagine what it would have been like for its crew in those final days, drifting through the Atlantic Ocean without any knowledge of their fate or the repercussions that would follow. The story of the Mary Celeste captures the fascination with maritime mysteries that has endured for over a century. It inspires tales in literature, film, and popular culture, often used as an emblem of the unexplained events that can occur at sea. The ship's legacy continues to propel the imaginations of writers, historians, and adventurers who are keen to uncover the truth behind the legend. This enigmatic vessel represents the broader themes of exploration and human endeavor. The ocean has always been a source of both wonder and danger, and the Mary Celeste serves as a poignant example of the unpredictable nature of sea travel. It embodies the triumphs and trials sailors faced in the era of exploration, challenges they confronted, unknowns they navigated, and the elements they braved to pursue their ambitions. As the sea whispers its secrets, the story of the Mary Celeste endures, a mysterious ghost ship that sails on in legend and lore. It reminds us of the mysteries waiting to be uncovered, and the stories that remain with the waves, drawing adventurers and dreamers into the depths of its enigmatic history. As we reflect on this tale, let us remember the sailors who braved the mighty ocean and the mysteries it holds. Their stories are woven into the very fabric of maritime lore, ensuring that the legend of the Mary Celeste will not fade into obscurity anytime soon. The Loch Ness Monster, often affectionately referred to as Nessie, is one of the most famous mythical creatures in the world, captivating the imagination of people for decades. This legendary creature is said to dwell in Loch Ness, a large, deep, freshwater lake located in the Scottish Highlands. The lake itself is known for its stunning beauty, surrounded by lush hills and picturesque villages, making it a popular destination for tourists and nature enthusiasts alike. The lore of the Loch Ness Monster dates back centuries, with the first recorded sighting occurring in the 6th century, attributed to St. Columba. According to legend, St. Columba encountered a mysterious creature while traveling through the area. He witnessed a local man who had been attacked by the beast, and to protect the man, Columba commanded the creature to depart, which it did. This early account set the stage for the enduring fascination with Nessie. Throughout the years, numerous sightings and reports of the Loch Ness Monster have surfaced, each adding to the aura of mystery surrounding this elusive creature. Many witnesses describe seeing a large, hump-shaped figure moving through the water, sometimes with long necks resembling those of dinosaurs. Descriptions vary, with some suggesting that it might have flippers or a tail, while others suggest a more serpent-like appearance. In the 1930s, the modern legend of Nessie began to gain considerable traction, particularly after a photograph known as the surgeon's photograph was published in a newspaper. Taken by Robert Kenneth Wilson, this famous image appeared to show a large creature swimming in the loch, capturing the public's imagination and igniting a wave of interest in the legend. Despite later claims revealing the photo was a hoax, the allure of the Loch Ness Monster only grew stronger. The advent of technology has further fueled the exploration of Loch Ness and the hunt for Nessie. In recent decades, sonar scans, underwater photography, and even drones have been used in attempts to locate the creature. Researchers have employed various methods to uncover the truth behind the legend. Interestingly, sonar findings have revealed large objects beneath the surface of the lake, igniting speculation about what they could be. The lore of Nessie has led to countless books, documentaries, and films examining the existence of this legendary figure. Theories have emerged, ranging from the plausible to the bizarre. Some suggest that the creature could be a large eel, while others posit that it might be a relic from the age of dinosaurs. The idea that something so elusive could exist continues to provoke curiosity, sparking debates among scientists, cryptozoologists, and enthusiasts alike. Local businesses have capitalized on the legend, with souvenir shops offering an array of Nessie-themed items, from plush toys to t-shirts. The Loch Ness Monster has turned into a cultural icon, drawing visitors from around the world intrigued by the mystery. The strong connection between the creature and the local Scottish culture has fostered a sense of community and pride, as the history of Nessie ties the past to the present. The fascination with the Loch Ness Monster also highlights a broader human inclination toward the supernatural and the unexplained. People are drawn to mysteries, whether it's tales of unexplored regions, historical enigmas, or legendary creatures. Nessie represents the timeless allure of the unknown, encouraging adventurous spirits to venture into the realms of imagination. Beyond the legend, Loch Ness is a place of breathtaking natural beauty. The tranquil waters reflect the surrounding hills and forests, creating a serene backdrop that invites contemplation. The landscape has inspired countless artists and writers, each interpreting the beauty and mystery of the area in their own unique way. Walking along the scenic paths by the loch, one can find incredible views and a sense of connection to the land's rich history. Visitors often engage in exploration, venturing to nearby castles, like the iconic Earhart Castle, which overlooks Loch Ness. This historical structure adds to the allure of the area, providing a glimpse into Scotland's medieval past. The presence of ancient ruins around the loch enhances the feeling that there are stories yet untold, layers of history waiting to be uncovered. Each castle and stone carries its own narrative, intertwining with the legend of Nessie. As the years go by, the legend of the Loch Ness Monster continues to evolve. New sightings and theories emerge periodically, sparking renewed interest. Whether it's through organized hunts, academic expeditions, or simply tales shared among friends, the fascination remains as strong as ever. Each generation adds to the tapestry of myths surrounding this legendary creature, ensuring that Nessie's story will persist for years to come. Nessie serves as a reminder of the magic that still exists in our world, beckoning us to explore and embrace the unknown. The tale of the Loch Ness Monster invites questions about what lies beneath the surface, both literally in the waters of the loch and metaphorically in the depths of our imaginations. We are reminded that there is still so much to discover, and sometimes the journey itself is just as important as the destination. So as you ponder the legend of the Loch Ness Monster, consider what it might represent for you. Is it the allure of adventure, the excitement of the unknown, or perhaps it is a call to explore the enchanting landscapes of rural Scotland? Whatever it may be, the story of Nessie is woven into the very fabric of both the loch and the broader cultural narrative, ensuring that the legend continues to captivate and inspire curiosity for generations to come. In the winter of 1959, a group of 9 experienced hikers set out on an adventurous trek into the Ural Mountains of Russia. This journey quickly became one of the most mysterious and talked about incidents in outdoor history, now known as the Dyatlov Pass incident. As we delve into this intriguing story, we'll explore various aspects, from the hikers' backgrounds to the theories surrounding their untimely deaths, and the haunting questions that still linger. The expedition was led by Igor Dyatlov, a competent and well-respected leader. He, along with his team comprised of students and graduates from the Ural Polytechnic Institute, was eager to embrace the challenges of the Siberian wilderness. Each member of the group possessed a wealth of experience in hiking and climbing, and they were well prepared for the harsh conditions they might encounter. The hike was to be a demanding adventure that would take them deep into the snow-laden mountains, far from the comforts of civilization. The hikers set off on January 27th, traveling through breathtaking landscapes that showcased the stark beauty of winter in the Ural Mountains. These were isolated areas, where the silence of nature enveloped them like a blanket. With every step, the snow crunched beneath their feet, and the brilliant white of the landscape was accompanied by a cold, crisp air that invigorated their spirits. As the days passed, the group made their way toward their destination, but by February 2nd, they had deviated from their planned route. In order to find a suitable campsite for the night, they chose to pitch their tent on the side of a mountain, which they later referred to as Kholat Syakhl, a name meaning, quote, dead mountain in the local Mansi language. Little did they know that this choice would lead to a series of strange events that would captivate the world. On February 12th, after the hiking group failed to send a telegram from their planned destination, a search party was dispatched. This was not unusual, as it was common practice for expeditions to communicate their progress. However, as the days passed without word, concern grew amongst family members and authorities. Eventually, rescuers reached the site where the hikers had set up camp. What they discovered was both shocking and perplexing. The tent was found torn open from the inside, a detail that has fueled speculation ever since. The belongings of the hikers, including their shoes, were left behind, indicating that something had led them to flee into the freezing conditions. Footprints were found in the snow, leading away from the camp. These prints revealed that the hikers had left in a hurried and disorganized manner, without proper preparation for the dangerously cold temperatures they faced. As the initial search continued, more details about the hikers began to emerge. They were young, vibrant individuals, filled with a sense of adventure and camaraderie. Their enthusiasm for exploration reflected a post-war Russia, where many sought to experience the thrill of the great outdoors. They brought together a mix of geology students, engineering students, and those passionate about wilderness travel. Each had a story, a passion for hiking, and dreams yet to be fulfilled. As rescue efforts intensified, the first bodies were discovered at varying distances from the camp. The conditions in the mountains were brutal, with temperatures plummeting at night. It was during this search that the strange circumstances of their deaths came to light. Some of the hikers were found in bizarre poses, as if they had been startled or frightened by something unseen. Notably, several of them were dressed only in their underwear, despite the freezing cold, adding another layer of mystery to their deaths. The examination of the bodies later revealed even more unsettling findings. Some of the hikers had suffered severe injuries, including internal trauma, and yet there were no external wounds to explain the cause. In fact, the injuries sustained by two of the hikers were comparable to those found in car accidents, raising questions about how such harm could occur without any other vehicle or force of similar power involved. Other members of the group had strange markings on their skin, leading to further intrigue. As investigators probed deeper, they discovered the peculiar circumstances surrounding the case. Some individuals raised theories that ranged from a possible avalanche to military involvement and even alien encounters. The area had seen reports of strange lights in the sky around the time of the incident, leading to yet another layer of speculation. These unconfirmed reports fed into the growing mountain of theories that would only intensify over the years. As the investigation continued, the nearby Mansi people, indigenous to the region, also offered insights, albeit filled with their own folklore. Reports suggested that the mountain was considered sacred and that the hikers had disturbed something powerful. This belief has persisted in some narratives surrounding the incident, as others have tried to make sense of the inexplicable. Media coverage in the years following sparked public curiosity, and several books, documentaries, and films have been produced in a quest to shed light on what truly happened to the group. Each new work and theory tends to capture the imagination, and many become enthralled in the riddles posed by the tragedy at Dyatlov Pass. Decades later, there remains a fascination, not just with what happened during that fateful trip, but also with the hikers themselves. They are memorialized in various ways, with tribute monuments and gatherings honoring their memory. As time goes on, the personalities of each of the 9 travelers become more prominent, allowing their spirits to live on in the hearts of those curious about their untimely fate. Despite exhaustive searches, investigations, and countless theories, the true story behind the Dyatlov Pass incident remains cloaked in mystery. Perhaps it is the unanswered questions that make this tale so gripping. The event has grown from a tragic loss into a folklore of its own, capturing the wonder and fear of the unknown. Each potential explanation draws in adventurers, historians, and curious minds, creating a narrative that continues to evolve, even as the details of the past grow dim. In the end, the Dyatlov Pass incident serves as a reminder of the power of nature and the unknown. It leaves us pondering the limits of our understanding and the enchantment that resides in the mysteries of the world around us. Those who seek to uncover the truth find themselves on their own adventures, exploring not just the mountains of Russia, but the human spirit's quest for answers amid the shadows of the unknown. The Zodiac Killer is one of the most infamous criminal figures in American history. He was active during the late 1960s in Northern California, and his legacy continues to loom large in true crime discussions. His story is not just about the horrifying murders he committed, but also about the twisted games he played with law enforcement and the public through cryptic letters. The Zodiac Killer first came to public attention following a series of murders in the San Francisco Bay Area. His first confirmed victims were high school students Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday, who were shot on December 20, 1968, near Vallejo, California. Little did anyone know that these tragic events would mark the beginning of a string of killings that would capture the nation's attention. Shortly after the murders, a person claiming to be the Zodiac sent letters to local newspapers, taunting police and boasting about the murders he had committed. In these letters, he included ciphers, challenging readers to decode them. This obsession with puzzles not only showcased his intelligence, but also hinted at a deeper psychological profile. The first cipher he sent, known as the 408-character cipher, went unsolved for several days, creating a sense of dread and intrigue among the public. When the cipher was finally decoded, It revealed a chilling message. The killer wanted to lure his victims for his own amusement. This taunt ignited a frenzy of speculation and media coverage, drawing in amateur sleuths, professional detectives, and curious citizens alike. The Zodiac seemed to relish in this attention, leading to more letters being sent, complete with more cryptic codes. The second confirmed murder linked to the Zodiac occurred on July 4, 1969, when he killed Darlene Farron and Mike Mageau in a parked car. Witnesses reported seeing a man approach the vehicle, and this information would prove vital to the investigation. Mageau survived the attack, providing a description of the assailant that would shape the efforts of law enforcement agencies across the nation. It was during this time that the Zodiac Killer's activities catapulted him into the realm of legend. He sent another letter to the San Francisco Chronicle, further taunting the media. In his letter, he provided details about the murders that only the police would know, reaffirming his connection to the crimes and escalating the public's fear. One of the compelling aspects of the Zodiac's story is the way he interacted with law enforcement. His letters became more interpretive and literary as time passed. In one particularly notable instance, he wrote a letter containing a piece of a blood-stained shirt and dared the police to catch him. This not only instigated widespread fear, but also became a defining feature of his modus operandi. The Zodiac Killer's actions inspired various theories about his identity. The ambiguity surrounding him allowed room for speculation and conjecture. In the years that followed, multiple suspects were proposed, but none were definitively linked to the crimes. Some theories suggested he was a local resident. Other ideas placed the responsibility on someone who moved in and out of the area. One of the most perplexing aspects of the case was the way the Zodiac seemed to vanish after his last confirmed killing, which occurred in 1969. After a series of violent crimes, he seemed to slip into the shadows, leaving police and the public with more questions than answers. Yet, even in his absence, the legacy of his terror persisted. People continued to debate his identity and motivations, wondering if he was still alive or had died without ever having been caught. Over the years, the Zodiac Killer's story has inspired countless books, documentaries, and films, all aiming to explore the mysteries surrounding him. This killer's penchant for communication with the media and public set him apart from other criminals. He communicated for over a year, gaining notoriety and a fearful admiration that made him a fixture in American culture. The fascinating blend of terror and intellect, captured in the Zodiac's letters, continues to inspire amateur investigators and professional detectives alike. Each piece of correspondence can lead to renewed curiosity and investigation, keeping his story alive in popular folklore. This phenomenon is not just based on the crimes themselves, but also on the enigmatic persona that the killer crafted through his communications. In 1990, the first ciphers associated with the Zodiac Killer were cracked, leading to renewed interest in the case. This signaled a resurgence of public fascination and prompted renewed investigative efforts by both amateur sleuths and seasoned professionals. Even though the case remains officially unsolved, many also look at it as a cautionary tale about the complexities of crime, the art of communication, and the elusive nature of human behavior. In the digital age, forensic advancements in technology have played a significant role in re-evaluating unsolved cases. The Zodiac Killer's infamous history lives on today, thanks to these advancements. With new tools and methods, some believe that eventually, the truth about his identity may come to light, providing closure to one of America's most puzzling murder sprees. In the years since, many have attempted to decode the Zodiac Killer's unread messages and associate them with potential suspects, adding layers to the already intricate narrative. The idea that hidden truths could be lurking just beyond our grasp remains tantalizing, as more generations continue to explore this chilling history. This case evokes fascination, not just for the horrifying events, but also for the psychological elements at play. What drives someone to taunt authorities? What satisfaction does one derive from the fear they inspire? The Zodiac Killer's determination to create an image of himself as an amped-up, cunning figure demonstrates an unusual blend of arrogance and brilliance that continues to perplex and inspire those who delve into this labyrinthine case. As modern investigators and enthusiasts sift through extensive archives, debates rage on about the motives behind the Zodiac's letters. Were they attempts to establish credibility as a serial killer, or a means of connecting with an audience who hung on every word? The thrill of new discoveries makes the Zodiac Killer's case a never-ending cycle of fascination. The story of the Zodiac Killer encompasses many themes, from societal fears of crime to the enduring skepticism that surrounds unsolved cases. This narrative reminds us that beneath the surface of such horrors lies a wealth of psychological intrigue, human behavior, and the ever-elusive motives that can drive individuals to crime. His letters have remained in the spotlight, serving as a stark reminder that the human brain can often behave in unexpectedly dark and complex ways. The sheriff's department and local police faced immense pressure during the initial investigation, with the public clamoring for answers. Each new letter prompted public affairs to become a spectacle in itself, allowing the case to capture the media's imagination. As the news circulated, it seemed everyone wanted to piece together the mystery, though the puzzle remained a precarious one. Over the decades, numerous documentaries, films, and even art have immortalized the enigmatic figure of the Zodiac Killer. Many have sought to portray not only the terrifying crimes, but also the twisted nature of a person who turned killing into an art form of sorts, mingling danger with wit. Every interpretation begs the question of what pushes someone to such extremes, as they often camouflage themselves in baffling layers of ambiguity. As we reflect on the Zodiac Killer, it becomes increasingly apparent that his story is about more than just murders. It is an exploration of how fear can shape communities, propel a nation towards hysteria, and remain a haunting whisper through history. The fascination with this case endures, a chilling thread woven into the tapestry of American crime, representing not just a ruthless killer, but the mysteries of the human psyche standing tall against the void of reason. The challenge of that void, of understanding motivations and behaviors, has never fully resolved itself, echoing questions that may never allow for closure. It leaves behind lingering whispers that remind us of the complexities that lie beneath every dark story, a reflection of human behavior that continues to captivate, haunt, and inspire narratives for decades to come. In the quiet countryside of Bavaria, Germany, lies a haunting tale that has remained unsolved for over a century. This is the story of the Hinterkaifeck Murders, a chilling event that took place in 1922, enveloped in mystery and intrigue. Picture a small farmstead, isolated from the bustling world, surrounded by dense woods and fields. The small family living there, the Gruber family, consisted of Andreas Gruber, his wife Cecily, their daughter Victoria, her husband, and their two grandchildren, Joseph and Maria. Life on the farm was peaceful, yet there was something unsettling about the home in those final days before the tragic event. The family had been experiencing strange occurrences. Andreas Gruber had reported hearing footsteps in the snow leading to the house, but never back again. He found strange objects in his barn, and even claimed to have seen an unknown figure lurking around the property. But as much as he tried to convince the family, they brushed off his concerns. On that fateful night in March 1922, after returning from a visit to town, the Gruber family seemed to fall into an eerie silence. They were never to be seen again. It wasn't until 4 days later that a neighbor noticed something was amiss. When he finally ventured onto the property, he discovered the grim reality. All 6 members of the Gruber family had been brutally murdered. The scene was beyond comprehension. The family had died in their home, with some of them found in their beds, while others were discovered in the barn. What made matters even more perplexing was the peculiar state of the house and the crime scene. There were no signs of forced entry, leading investigators to believe that the assailant could have been someone the family knew. Strangely enough, the farm animals had all been untouched, adding to the bizarre nature of the crime. As the investigation commenced, the authorities uncovered several puzzling clues. For instance, a mysterious newspaper was discovered in the house that had not been delivered to the farm, indicating that someone had been there recently. Moreover, the Gruber's valuables remained undisturbed, suggesting that the motive was not robbery. Instead, a darker motive seemed to lurking beneath the surface. Rumors began to circulate rapidly. Some believed that Victoria Gruber's estranged husband was involved, as there was a history of conflict and tension between them. Others speculated about the mysterious footprints discovered in the snow leading to the house, suggesting that the killer had stalked the family. The local police were inundated with tips and theories, but each lead fell into a dead end, and none provided answers to this bewildering crime. The Hinterkaifeck mystery continued to proliferate, consuming both the townspeople and the media. Years went by, and despite various investigations, and even the interest of criminologists, the case remained cold. In the annals of unsolved crimes, the Hinterkaifeck murders became a legend, sparking fascination and horror. In an attempt to solve the case, later investigators explored various theories. Some suggested that the killer had been someone from the nearby villages, while others posited that it could have been a transient individual drawn to the farm's isolation. A popular theory arose suggesting that Andreas Gruber had angered a man, leading to an act of retaliation. However, no concrete evidence supported any hypothesis, leaving the community haunted by uncertainty. Interestingly, the farm itself did not remain untouched by the crimes committed within its walls. Over the years, several caretakers and families moved into the property, but they often reported strange happenings. Whispers of ghost sightings and unexplainable noises circulating through the air perpetuated the haunting aura surrounding the place. Additionally, some amateur sleuths would visit the site, attempting to piece together the fragments of this tragic story. Each individual brought forth their theories and insights, hoping to unlock the mystery of what transpired that dreadful night. People delved into the backstory of the Gruber family, attempting to uncover possible motives and connections. The mystery took on a life of its own, inspiring fiction, movies, and countless articles. As the decades passed, the case became an archetype of unexplained phenomena and deep-rooted fears that can dwell within rural life. The essence of the unknown resonated with many, emphasizing how isolation can breed horror. Intriguingly, the Hinterkaifeck Murders also prompted discussions about broader themes within society. The event awakened curiosity about family dynamics, rural existence, and the lurking fears that can exist even among closely knit communities. What drives someone to commit such an atrocity? The motivations of human behavior have perplexed scholars for ages, and this case served as a focal point for such discussions. Years later, an amateur investigator even claimed to have solved the case, attributing it to a long-standing feud within the region. However, as enticing as it sounds, no new evidence came to light, and the specter of doubt loomed over the conclusions. The endless possibilities of what could have happened on that quiet farm echoed through history. As we reflect on the Hinterkaifeck Murders, it becomes clear that dark tales such as these remind us of the fragility of life and the deep, sometimes sinister layers of human relationships. The tragic events that unfolded challenge us to think critically and empathetically about the world around us. In truth, the real horror may not lie solely in the crime itself, but in the unexplained silence that follows and the unanswered questions that linger long after the echoes of violence have faded. In the sweeping tales that shape our understanding of humanity, the Hinterkaifeck Murders remain an unforgettable chapter. It prompts us to ponder the nooks and crannies of life, where shadows may linger and truth remains obscured. As modern inquiries and discussions continue, the gory events of March 1922 remind us that some mysteries may never be solved, leaving behind only whispers of speculation and chilling curiosity. With each passing year, the story morphs into a haunting fable, captivating both the curious souls eager for truth and the fabric of folklore, forever etched into the annals of crime history. The Roanoke Colony, often referred to as the, quote, Lost Colony, stands as one of the most intriguing mysteries in American history. Established in the late 1580s, the colony was an attempt by England to establish a permanent settlement in the New World. This endeavor, led by Sir Walter Raleigh, marked one of the first significant English attempts to explore and settle in North America. In 1584, Raleigh sent an expedition to explore the coast of present-day North Carolina. The findings were promising. They documented the land's resources and the native populations, providing favorable reports that encouraged further efforts to colonize. The following year, Raleigh received a royal charter from Queen Elizabeth I, which bolstered the plans for a settlement. In 1585, a group of approximately 100 men, including soldiers and sailors, sailed to Roanoke Island in search of fortune and adventure. The initial years were fraught with difficulties. The settlers faced harsh conditions, scarce food supplies, and tensions with the indigenous peoples. Communication with England was important for their survival, but the journey back home was fraught with challenges, delayed by storms and political matters. In 1586, the situation became increasingly dire. A ship, the Lion, arrived with supplies, but the colony remained precarious. The decision was made to abandon the settlement, and Sir Francis Drake, serving as an English privateer, came to their rescue, taking the settlers back to England. However, the dream of colonization did not die. In 1587, a new and ambitious group of settlers, nearly 120 men, women, and children, set sail for Roanoke Island, again under the leadership of John White. John White, an experienced artist and mapmaker, was determined to establish a more permanent settlement and was also eager to reunite with the family he had left in England. This group was unique as it included the first English child born in the Americas, Virginia Dare. Upon arrival, they found the settlement established by the previous group was abandoned. Despite this setback, White and the new settlers began to build homes and cultivate the land. The colony, however, still struggled with securing enough food and supplies. As tensions mounted between the settlers and local indigenous tribes, White decided it was necessary to return to England for assistance. He made the arduous journey, leaving the colony in 1587 and promising to return quickly. Upon reaching England in 1588, White found himself caught in the political turmoil surrounding the Spanish Armada, which diverted resources and attention from the colonies. This delay turned into a long absence, and it wasn't until 1590, 3 years later, that White managed to return to Roanoke. What he discovered upon his return was deeply puzzling and alarming. The settlement he had left behind was completely deserted. The only clue to the fate of the settlers was the word Croatoan, carved into a post of the abandoned fort. The term referenced a nearby island inhabited by the Croatan tribe, suggesting that the settlers may have moved there for safety or assistance. However, the search for answers proved fruitless. Despite multiple expeditions in the decades following to investigate the disappearance, no trace of the settlers was ever definitively found. Over the years, various theories emerged to explain the vanishing of the Roanoke colonists. Some historians suggest that the settlers assimilated with local Native American tribes. This theory is supported in part by subsequent accounts of local tribes which mentioned white settlers living among them. Another idea posits that the settlers may have tried to sail back to England, but met with disaster at sea. Some even speculate that they succumbed to starvation or violence due to conflicts with indigenous peoples. The mystery surrounding the fate of the Roanoke colony has fueled speculation, literature, and pop culture for centuries. The vanishing of the first English settlers in the Americas remains a captivating narrative filled with questions about survival, cultures, and the human spirit's enduring quest for exploration. The lost colony stands as a reminder of the precariousness of life in new worlds and reminds us of the challenges faced by those ambitious enough to dream of a future far from home. Over time, as the story of Roanoke Colony evolved into legend, it became an essential part of American folklore. The mysteries inspired countless stories, theories, and even fictional works, reflecting the ongoing fascination with the unknown. This unresolved story continues to resonate with our imagination, prompting us to wonder about those early adventurers and what life was like for them in the uncharted wilderness of America. Perhaps the enduring appeal of the Roanoke story lies in its ability to remind us of the adventurous spirit of early colonizers. Their journey was not only one of survival, but also of exploration and interaction with a world vastly different from their own. The desire for a new life, coupled with the inherent risks of such endeavors, is a story as old as time itself. The tale of the Roanoke colony invites us to reflect on the complexities of colonization, the interweaving of cultures, and the enduring mysteries that shape our understanding of history. As we ponder this enigmatic episode, we recognize that the legacy of Roanoke is far more than a mere disappearance. It is a testament to the human condition, the intricacies of fate, and the mysteries that remain unsolved even centuries later. It serves as a reminder that history is filled with stories waiting to be uncovered, inviting us to explore, to question, and to seek answers in the footprints left behind by those who came before us. In conclusion, the lost colony of Roanoke symbolizes the spirit of exploration that has characterized human history. Its disappearance raises profound questions about survival, adaptation, and the mysteries that linger in the shadows of our past. This enduring tale continues to inspire and fascinate, ensuring that the Roanoke colony will remain an essential chapter in the story of America. On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport, bound for Beijing. The Boeing 777, carrying 239 passengers and crew members, was destined to follow a routine flight path. However, within minutes of takeoff, the flight experienced an unusual turn of events that would captivate and bewilder the world for years to come. Shortly after reaching cruising altitude, the plane's transponder was turned off, and the aircraft deviated from its intended route. This sudden and unexpected maneuver raised alarm among air traffic controllers, who quickly attempted to re-establish communication with the flight crew. But attempts to contact MH370 went unanswered. In a matter of moments, the flight had vanished from radar screens. As news of the disappearance spread, an extensive search operation was launched. Thousands of people from multiple countries came together. Governments, search and rescue teams, and volunteers, all dedicated to uncovering the mystery of MH370. The search began in the South China Sea, focusing on the last known position of the aircraft. Early theories suggested a possible crash over the water, leading to retrieval operations involving ships and helicopters scouring the vast ocean. Days turned to weeks, and weeks to months. Despite the massive efforts and cutting-edge technology deployed to locate the missing aircraft, there was little evidence to provide clarity. Only pieces of debris washed ashore on various islands, hinting at the aircraft's fate. Each piece recovered fueled speculation, further tantalizing the families of those on board who were desperate for answers. What had happened to their loved ones? Were they lost forever in the depths of the ocean? As search efforts expanded, the focus shifted to a remote area of the southern Indian Ocean. An analysis of satellite data suggested that MH370 had likely continued flying for several hours after its last communication with air traffic control. This new information prompted a deeper investigation and a reevaluation of the search area. It became a monumental task to comb through the vast, uncharted waters, said to be some of the most challenging to navigate in the world. International experts, including teams from Australia, the United States, and the United Kingdom, collaborated on this unprecedented search. Using advanced technology and underwater drones, they scoured the ocean floor for any trace of the missing plane. Search vessels equipped with sophisticated sonar imaging navigated the depths, tirelessly scanning the seabed for signs of wreckage. However, despite their determination, the search yielded minimal results. The complexities of MH370's disappearance raised many questions. Theories about what may have happened to the plane ranged from hijacking to mechanical failure, and even a deliberate act by a member of the flight crew. Each possible scenario fueled discussions across the globe. Media coverage kept the story alive, with experts offering insights and making predictions based on the available data. Families of those on board became advocates for transparency. They demanded answers and pushed for funding to continue the search, even as the initial search operation concluded without success. Their unwavering commitment to finding closure sparked a global conversation about airline safety, communication technology, and the challenges of locating aircraft in distress. In January 2017, after nearly 3 years of searching, the official search for MH370 was suspended. While some debris had been found, the main wreckage and the flight data and cockpit voice recorders remained elusive. The search area was informed by the locations of the recovered debris and satellite analyses, but to this day, the wreckage has never been located. The mystery of Flight MH370 propagated discussions surrounding aviation safety protocols and highlights the importance of advanced communication systems in modern aircraft. Aviation experts have called for improvements to transponder systems to ensure that flights can be tracked continuously. The event raised awareness of the necessity for better emergency beacons and tracking options for commercial flights traversing remote areas of the ocean. As time passed, the legacy of MH370 transitioned into one of remembrance and hope. The stories of the individuals on board, their families, and their struggles for answers came to light. Documentaries and books were published, recounting personal narratives intertwined with the chronology of events. The tragedy left a mark on aviation history, serving as a reminder of the fragility of human life and the unpredictability of our world. MH370 was not just about a missing aircraft, it became a symbol of unity, compassion, and resilience. The families of the passengers formed groups, creating support networks to help one another cope with the emotional trauma of their loss. They shared memories of their loved ones, often celebrating milestones and anniversaries in their absence. This collective bonding cemented a lasting connection, highlighting the strength found in community during times of despair. In the years following the disappearance, several private endeavors emerged to continue searching for the missing flight. Independent teams utilized technology, environmental data, and crowdsourced information to locate the flight's wreckage. Determination and innovation persisted in many individuals who felt a sense of responsibility to seek answers where official searches had ceased. The significance of MH370 transcends simple aviation mishap. It calls attention to the unpredictability of our existence and serves as a poignant reminder of the unresolved mysteries that life presents. The vastness of the oceans and the depths of human emotion intertwine in this tale, reflecting both the technological advancements of our day and the deep connections between families and loved ones. Through years past and further research, the aircraft remains at the center of unanswered questions. Scientific analyses continue to shed light on factors that may have contributed to its disappearance, but the truth remains obscured under scattered waves. New investigative techniques and advancements in oceanography promise hope for future discoveries. The human spirit perseveres, empowered by the importance of memory, love, and connection. People around the world remain vigilant, continuing to remember the 239 individuals aboard Flight MH370. Their stories live on through advocacy, remembrance events, and ongoing discussions that inspire inquiries into the nature of flight safety and the human experience alike. What happened to Flight MH370 is a question still echoing in the minds of many. The hope for answers exists alongside the resolve to turn grief into action. The story of MH370 stands as a testament to the quest for truth transcending borders. Unanswered questions foster resilience and desire to understand, leading to developments that pave the way for a safer future in aviation. Public interest may fade over time, but the dedication of those most affected remains a lasting tribute to memory, courage, and the shared resolve to seek the truth in the face of uncertainty. For the families, the journey toward finding peace and closure continues. Each day brings memories that intertwine with the ongoing search for understanding. The legacy of Flight MH370 lives on through those who refuse to forget, symbolic of a world that remains interconnected, seeking not only to grasp the complexities of the skies, but also the depths of human compassion. On the morning of June 30, 1908, an extraordinary event unfolded in the heart of Siberia, leaving an indelible mark on the history of our planet. Known as the Tunguska Event, this massive explosion remains one of the most intriguing and mysterious occurrences of the 20th century. The details surrounding this event, including its scale and cause, have generated extensive research and speculation that continues to captivate scholars and enthusiasts alike. Witnesses reported that a bright flash lit up the sky, followed by an enormous explosion that produced a shockwave felt over a vast area. Residents in distant locales, hundreds of kilometers away, experienced a tremor akin to that of an earthquake. This phenomenon destroyed approximately 2,000 square kilometers of forest, flattening around 80 million trees, a sight that would perplex observers for years to come. The location of this explosive event was near the Tunguska River in eastern Siberia, an area that at the time was sparsely populated. Fortunately, the remote nature of the explosion meant that human casualties were minimal, with reports suggesting only a few injuries among the local population. Despite the low number of fatalities, the aftermath of the explosion presented a bewildering sight as an entire landscape was transformed in the blink of an eye. Early investigations were hampered by the remoteness and inaccessibility of the region, but interest peaked as news of the event spread. Russian scientists and explorers began to trek into the Siberian wilderness to study the mysterious Ground Zero. The first explorations occurred more than a decade later, in 1927, led by the prominent Soviet scientist Leonid Kulik. Kulik and his team found a vast area of trees that had been laid flat in a radial pattern, all pointing away from a central point. One of the leading theories regarding the Tunguska event is that it was caused by the airburst of a small comet or asteroid entering the Earth's atmosphere. As the object sped through the sky, it would have disintegrated at an altitude of around 5 to 10 kilometers, releasing an immense amount of energy equivalent to the force of approximately 10 to 15 megatons of TNT. This is many times more powerful than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima during World War II. Such a scenario would explain the lack of impact crater commonly associated with meteor strikes, as the energy was released high above the ground rather than at the surface. On the other hand, various alternative hypotheses have emerged over the years, including theories involving the explosion of methane gas released from the Earth's crust, or even theories of exotic physics phenomena. Some researchers suggested that it could be indicative of a volcanic eruption, despite the absence of any volcanic activity in the immediate area. However, these alternative explanations have not gained the same level of acceptance within the scientific community. The Tunguska event holds significance beyond its immediate effects. It serves as a stark reminder of the potential dangers posed by near-Earth objects, which could have catastrophic consequences if they were to collide with our planet. Events like Tunguska compel scientists to study and monitor the skies for similar threats. Today's technology allows astronomers to track asteroids and comets, fostering a greater understanding of near-Earth objects and helping to develop strategies for planetary defense. Additionally, the Tunguska event has entered the collective consciousness as a subject of folklore and speculation. It has inspired countless theories, stories, and even works of fiction. The sheer power of the explosion and its mysterious origin have sparked the imagination of writers and filmmakers alike, leading to representations in popular culture ranging from science fiction to documentaries. For many, the Tunguska Event represents the beauty of scientific inquiry and the mysteries that still linger in our understanding of the universe. Each discovery leads to new questions, propelling humans to explore the intricate workings of our planet and beyond. The study of events like Tunguska fuels curiosity and innovation, inviting more questions than answers. Research into the Tunguska Event is ongoing, with new technologies and methodologies allowing scientists to delve deeper into the mysteries of the past. Advances in computer simulations and modeling, in conjunction with modern astronomical observations, bolster efforts to understand not just the Tunguska Event itself, but the broader phenomena associated with such explosive occurrences. As we reflect on this event from over a century ago, it serves as a valuable lesson in humility and wonder. It encourages humanity to look up, to question, and to continue seeking knowledge about our place in the cosmos. Each star we see is a reminder of the forces at work beyond our grasp, some of which have the power to change the world with a mere flash in the sky. In essence, the Tunguska Event has encapsulated the excitement of discovery, the thrill of the unknown, and the continuous journey humankind has embarked upon to understand and navigate the mysteries of our universe. As researchers unravel the threads of its story, our appreciation for the natural world deepens, motivating us to protect and preserve our planet as we gaze into the vast unknown overhead. The events that transpired in Siberia remain a powerful narrative intertwining science, exploration, and the enduring quest for knowledge. In the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean, a mysterious tale unfolded, captivating the imaginations of many. This is the story of the Mary Celeste, an American merchant ship that was discovered adrift in 1872 under circumstances that continue to baffle experts, historians, and amateur sleuths alike. The Mary Celeste was launched in 1861 and initially served as a brigantine, a type of two-masted sailing vessel. This ship was built for speed and was used to transport goods across the Atlantic, trading between the United States and Europe. Capable of carrying substantial cargo, it was a reliable workhorse in the bustling maritime industry of the mid-19th century. Its name, Mary Celeste, conjures images of an adventurous and industrious era, filled with brave sailors and their stories of life on the open sea. On November 7, 1872, the Mary Celeste set sail from New York City, bound for Genoa, Italy. The captain of the ship was Benjamin Briggs, a seasoned sailor who had a reputation for being meticulous and cautious. He was accompanied by his wife, son, and a crew of 7 men. Their journey began with the promise of prosperity, but little did they know that it would take a turn into the unknown. Several weeks later, on December 4, 1872, the Mary Celeste was discovered by the ship Dei Gratia. The crew of Dei Gratia spotted the Mary Celeste drifting aimlessly about 600 miles east of the Azores Islands. As they approached, they were struck by the sight of the ship. Sails were partially set, and it appeared to be in relatively good condition. However, there was a desperate absence of life on board. The ship's logbook revealed that the last entry had been made on November 25th, about a week after the crew had last been seen. According to the records, the crew had encountered rough weather and been forced to navigate through some treacherous conditions. Despite these challenges, there was no indication of a catastrophe that would explain the sudden disappearance of the crew and passengers. When the Dei Gratia crew boarded the Mary Celeste, they found a number of peculiar details that added to the intrigue of the situation. The ship's cargo hold was largely intact, containing barrels of alcohol that had been loaded for transport. The ship was also found to be seaworthy, and while some of the crew's personal effects were missing, valuable items such as the ship's lifeboat were still on board. However, the captain's log, documents, and navigating equipment had all vanished without a trace. As the story of the Mary Celeste began to make waves in newspapers, it provoked numerous theories about what could have happened. Excitement surrounded this discovery, and speculation ran rampant. Some began to argue that the crew had fled the ship due to perceived danger. Others proposed that the vessel had been attacked by pirates, or perhaps it had fallen victim to a supernatural phenomenon. Theories ranged from the plausible to the outrageous, igniting conspiracy theories that would last for decades. Further examinations following the discovery of the Mary Celeste included inquiries into the cargo it carried and the nature of the barrels filled with alcohol. The crew of the Dei Gracia noted that although some of the barrels appeared to have spilled into the hold, this was deemed unlikely to have led to a catastrophe. In fact, investigators deduced that the ship would have remained buoyant despite the spilled cargo. In the years following the discovery, the Mary Celeste became a subject of fascination, leading to its depiction in various forms of literature and artistic representation. The enigma behind its abandonment raised questions about the motivations of the crew, and legends began to sprout that would transform the Mary Celeste into a part of maritime folklore. As new generations continued to explore the mystery of the Mary Celeste, several theories were proposed, each unraveling a piece of this historical puzzle. Some scholars suggested that the crew might have encountered a dangerous waterspout, or touched upon a fear of an explosion due to the alcohol in the hold. Alternatively, the possibility of a mutiny has also been suggested, perhaps driven by fear or discontent among the crew. Interestingly, the tale also touches on the wider context of the period when the Mary Celeste sailed. In the 19th century, the world of shipping was rife with high stakes, as dangerous expeditions across the ocean were commonplace. Many vessels lost their crews to storms, piracy, and other perils, leading to an environment steeped in uncertainty. This added a dramatic layer to the tale of the Mary Celeste, as it mirrored the risks that sailors faced while braving the treacherous waters of the Atlantic. As the years passed, the Mary Celeste continued to intrigue researchers, historians, and armchair detectives. Documentaries, novels, and films featured this legendary vessel, and each retelling adds to the allure of its fateful journey. Some interpretations have turned to the potential psychological or emotional strain that a long sea voyage may impose, sparking debates regarding the mental health of sailors during lengthy expeditions. Investigation into the Mary Celeste reached technological heights in the modern era. Using advanced forensic techniques, scientists have sought to extract further evidence from the ship's remnants, rebuilding snapshots of its past. While no definitive solution has emerged from contemporary analysis, the quest serves to remind us of the dual nature of maritime stories, an unending quest for truth and an embrace of the imaginative possibilities that shrouded tales can offer. As we weave through the layers of the Mary Celeste story, it's apparent that it is more than just a mere anecdote from the past. It reflects human curiosity, the thrill of adventure, and the ultimate search for answers. The tale remains a compelling mixture of history, mystery, and the untamed spirit of the ocean. The Mary Celeste symbolizes our desire to understand the unknown, to delve into enigmas, and to uncover the stories that the waves have to tell. In the heart of every sailor lies a story waiting to be unraveled, and perhaps the saga of the Mary Celeste captures that yearning, echoing through the ages. Each time its name graces our ears, it beckons us to imagine the adventures that could have taken place, the lives intertwined with its journey, and the ultimate fate of those who once called it home. Such is the enduring legacy of the Mary Celeste, forever echoing across the waves of time, an eternal reminder of the enigmatic adventures that exist just beyond the horizon. In the summer of 1892, the quiet town of Fall River, Massachusetts, became the scene of a gruesome crime that would captivate the nation and spark countless discussions and theories for years to come. The case revolves around the brutal murders of Andrew Borden and his wife Abby, who were found dead in their home, and the mystery deepened with the involvement of their daughter, Lizzie Borden, as the prime suspect. To understand the significance of this case, imagine a typical Victorian-era household. The Bordens were a prominent family, with Andrew being a wealthy businessman who made his fortune in the textile industry. They lived in a large, stately home on 2nd Street, filled with the trappings of wealth, yet their family dynamics were anything but harmonious. The relationship between Lizzie and her stepmother Abby was particularly strained, with familial tensions simmering under the surface. Neighbors reported that Lizzie's relationship with her father was also complicated, adding layers of intrigue to the already grim narrative. On the morning of August 4, 1892, tragedy struck when Andrew Borden's lifeless body was discovered in the living room, while his wife's body was found upstairs. Both had been viciously attacked with what appeared to be an axe, leaving behind a scene that would haunt the town and draw in the attention of the media. The brutality of the murders shocked the community, and as news spread, journalists flocked to Fall River to report on the unfolding drama. Lizzie Borden, who was in the house at the time of the murders, quickly became the focus of the investigation. This can be likened to a classic whodunit novel. It had all the elements of suspense, mystery, and familial discord. Lizzie's demeanor during initial questioning struck some investigators as odd. Was she simply traumatized, or was there something more sinister at play? As details emerged, they painted a picture of a young woman who might have harbored deep resentment toward her parents, particularly the stepmother she had grown to loathe. The investigation turned into a media circus. In a time when sensational journalism was on the rise, the case offered a perfect story for reporters eager to capture the public's imagination. Newspapers sensationalized Lizzie's alleged role in the murders, with headlines that added to the tension and speculation, portraying her both as a cold-hearted killer and a tragic victim of circumstance. The trial that followed became a major event in American history. Lizzie's defense team employed an aggressive strategy, casting doubt on the prosecution's allegations while raising questions about the evidence gathered by law enforcement. The court hearings were filled with dramatic moments, and the public eagerly awaited each new development. Lizzie's innocence was proclaimed by some, while others were convinced of her guilt. The debates fueled discussions in social circles, and the concept of innocent until proven guilty was put to the test. As the trial drew on, many people in Fall River held strong opinions about Lizzie. Some rallied behind her, viewing her as a victim of an unfair trial based on the prejudices of the time, especially regarding women in society. Others were convinced of her culpability. The facade of respectability was being pulled back to reveal the stark realities of family life and the dark considerations that come from internal conflicts. In a remarkable turn of events, after weeks of testimonies and arguments, the jury ultimately acquitted Lizzie Borden of the charges against her. Public opinion was sharply divided. While some cheered for her freedom, others remained skeptical, convinced that the true criminal had escaped justice. The case did not end with the trial. In the years that followed, rumors continued to swirl around Lizzie's life. The Borden's estate left behind a trail of wealth and suspicion, and many wondered what really happened in that Borden home. Lizzie's subsequent life was marked by a strange mix of notoriety and attempts at normalcy. She moved to a different part of town, changed her name, and even attempted to engage in society, yet she could never fully escape the shadow of her family's legacy. Decades later, the case remains one of the most famously discussed unsolved mysteries in American history. Authors, filmmakers, and amateur sleuths have dissected every aspect of the case, piecing together theories while playing with the ambiguity of truth. The story of Lizzie Borden continues to inspire speculation and intrigue. One of the reasons for the lasting fascination with the Borden case is the duality of Lizzie herself. The image of a remorseless murderer clashes with that of a scared daughter witnessing the destruction of her family. This dichotomy resonates with audiences intrigued by the complexities of human emotions and motivations. In modern culture, the Borden case has taken on a life of its own, inspiring countless books, documentaries, and adaptations in popular media. The archetype of the scorned daughter became a powerful trope, and discussions about gender, social class, and familial loyalty continue to be relevant in the context of the case, revealing much about the society of that time. As much as the case has been dissected, many questions still linger. Did Lizzie Borden commit the murders? Or was she an innocent party swept up in a violent act that had nothing to do with her? Was it an act of passion, born out of familial disdain, a calculated move for financial gain, or was another person responsible for the bloodshed? In the end, the unresolved nature of the case invites ongoing exploration. The intriguing blend of family drama, social upheaval, and the quest for truth ensures that the Lizzie Borden case will continue to capture the imagination of those who seek to delve into the dark corridors of human behavior and the complexities of relationships. It serves as a reminder of how thin the veneer of societal norms can be and how the shadows of our past can shape our present, imprinting upon the collective memory and imagination of generations that follow. The household on 2nd Street exists now as a site of historical interest, where visitors gather to explore the infamous narrative associated with it. Walk those same halls, and you might imagine the tension, the whispers, and the unsolved mysteries that linger in the air, a testament to a crime that confounded the authorities and intrigued the world long after the final verdict was delivered. As we contemplate this chilling chapter in American history, the Borden case stands out as an emblem of unresolved tension. It encourages reflection on the complexities of human relationships, the allure of the unsolved, and the enigmatic nature of truth, leaving us to ponder what justice truly means and how history is shaped by the stories we tell. The Voynich Manuscript is one of the most enigmatic texts in the history of literature. Discovered in the early 20th century, this mysterious book has stumped linguists, cryptographers, and historians alike. Its origins can be traced back to the early 15th century, though many details about its creation remain unknown. It is named after Wilfred Voynich, an antiquarian bookseller who purchased the manuscript in 1912, bringing it to the attention of the modern world. The manuscript is notable not just for its content, but for its striking visual imagery. It contains a wealth of illustrations, many of which appear to depict plants, astronomical symbols, and extremely detailed diagrams. An interesting aspect of these illustrations is that they often do not seem to correspond to any known plants or models in biology, leading many scholars to believe that the illustrations are either highly imaginative or represent something yet undiscovered. One of the most captivating features of the Voynich manuscript is the unique script in which it is written. This script consists of hundreds of characters organized in a manner that does not match any known language. Regardless of the immense effort that has been applied to decode it, the text remains unreadable. Numerous experts have attempted to encrypt it, apply linguistic analysis, and even employ machine learning techniques to decipher its contents, but each attempt has been met with a wall of silence from the manuscript itself. In its pages, the manuscript is divided into several sections. These sections include a herbal section, a astronomical section, a biological section, and potentially even a cosmological section, based on the nature of its illustrations. The herbal section displays an array of plant drawings, many accompanied by their names written in this mysterious script. Despite extensive research, not a single one of these plants has been definitively identified, further fueling the intrigue surrounding the text. Within the astronomical section, evocative illustrations venture into the realm of the cosmos, displaying sun signs, lunar symbols, and astrological charts. These illustrations hint at the possibility that the manuscript may have been a guide to astronomy or perhaps astrological beliefs of the time. However, the precise purpose and meaning of these illustrations remain a matter of debate, leaving room for endless speculation. The biological section of the manuscript stands out with its depictions of female figures, which many believe to be embodiments of various natural forces or concepts. These figures often seem intertwined with complex diagrams made up of abstract symbols and shapes. The lack of clarity around these symbols adds another layer of mystery to the already complex narrative of the Voynich manuscript, leaving scholars wondering what message the manuscript might hold. Another captivating element is the manuscript's history. While there is evidence suggesting that it was created in Europe, the exact geographical and cultural context remains uncertain. Some believe it may have been produced in northern Italy, while others suggest a connection to ancient alchemical texts or even ancient herbal medicine. The manuscript changed hands multiple times throughout the centuries, but all that remains certain is its origin from the early 1400s. The manuscript attracted the attention of several famous figures, including renowned scientist John Dee and poet Edward Kelly in the 16th century. Some have speculated that the text was a hoax, however, no definitive evidence supports this claim. Many cryptographers believe that the content requires a unique key or context that remains lost to history. This unyielding enigma has fostered a vibrant community of enthusiasts and researchers, all striving to unlock the secrets of the manuscript. In the digital age, the Voynich manuscript has gained further prominence thanks to the Internet. High-resolution images of its pages are accessible to anyone willing to explore. Online communities have sprung up around the study of this text, where enthusiasts can debate theories, share findings, and collaborate on interpretations. Numerous theories about the motivations behind its creation and the meaning of its contents have emerged. Some believe it could have been a pharmacopoeia, a reference book describing herbal remedies and tinctures. Others argue that it may have served as a coded language meant to protect sensitive knowledge from outsiders. There are even theories proposing that it incorporates elements of a lost language, or is akin to constructed languages, like Esperanto. The fascination with the Voynich manuscript has grown so intense that it has inspired numerous novels, artworks, and films. It serves as a symbol of our quest for knowledge and understanding, illustrating the limits of human comprehension when faced with the unknown. Each page of the manuscript beckons, challenging the minds of those willing to seek out its secrets. Modern technology continues to play a role in the continued study of the Voynich manuscript. Advances in imaging techniques allow researchers to analyze the manuscript in ways that were once thought impossible. From multispectral imaging to forensic analysis, Scientists explore not only the text, but also the materials used in its creation. By studying the ink and parchment, they hope to gain clues pertinent to the manuscript's origin. The allure of the manuscript lies in its apparent defiance of understanding. Its mere existence prompts us to reflect on the nature of communication, knowledge, and the history of human expression. What ancient secrets does the manuscript hold? Are there hidden messages waiting to be uncovered, or will it always remain a beautifully bound riddle? The journey to understanding the Voynich Manuscript is a metaphor for the enduring nature of curiosity. Even if the manuscript remains indecipherable, it provides fertile ground for inquiry and passion, inspiring generations to pursue knowledge and challenge the boundaries of what we consider comprehensible. In conclusion, the Voynich Manuscript stands as a testament to the mysteries that exist within our history. Filled with unreadable text and undecipherable images, it invites us to explore the unknown and ponder what we have yet to learn. Each unanswered question adds to its mystique, ensuring its place in the annals of literary history remains secure, as scholars and enthusiasts alike continue to unravel the threads of this ancient enigma. The Overtoun Bridge, an intriguing structure located in Scotland, has captivated both locals and visitors alike, with its beautiful architecture and the mystery surrounding it. Spanning the Overtoun Burn, this bridge was built in the mid-19th century, primarily to connect the Overtoun House, a grand residence built for a wealthy landowner, to the surrounding estate. The design of the bridge reflects the Victorian era's penchant for aesthetic appeal, combined with functionality. Beyond its physical characteristics, Overtoun Bridge has gained notoriety for its unusual reputation. It is often described as a site where dogs have exhibited peculiar and alarming behavior. Many accounts tell of dogs inexplicably jumping from the bridge, leading to a string of unfortunate incidents. This phenomenon has raised questions about what might be causing these animals to take such drastic action. Some believe that the bridge is somehow attracting them, while others speculate that it may be related to scents or other environmental factors. The bridge rests in a location filled with lush greenery and expansive landscapes typical of the Scottish countryside. The entire area is steeped in an ethereal quality, particularly with its proximity to Overtoun House, which itself has a long history of ghost stories and tales of the supernatural. Some locals suggest that the beautiful but eerily quiet surroundings might create an atmosphere that affects both animals and humans, eliciting a sense of the uncanny. Researchers and wildlife experts have looked into these concerning incidents involving the dogs. One theory posits that the strong sense of wildlife present in the nearby woods may be compelling enough to distract the dogs, leading them to jump in pursuit or out of sheer excitement. The local fauna, including rabbits and deer, are abundant, and the smells they leave behind could easily entice a curious dog. This behavioral phenomenon could be a baffling but natural reaction to the instinctual drive to chase. In addition to the canine tales, Overtoun Bridge is also surrounded by various local legends and folklore. Some stories suggest that the bridge has supernatural associations and may even be linked to tragic historical events. It is said that the bridge's construction aligns with local energy lines or ley lines, which are believed to be channels of spiritual energy running through the landscape. These theories, while speculative, add to the rich tapestry of narratives that envelop the area. Interestingly, the bridge has become a focal point for those intrigued by the paranormal. It is not uncommon for ghost hunters and enthusiasts of the supernatural to visit Overtoun Bridge to conduct their investigations. Some claim to have experienced unexplainable occurrences while on or near the bridge, including sudden changes in temperature and the sensation of being watched. Such reports only fuel the ongoing mystique surrounding the site and make it a popular attraction for thrill seekers. The architectural beauty of Overtoun Bridge cannot be understated. With its sturdy stone structure and elegant arches, it exemplifies the craftsmanship of its time. The surrounding area offers striking views of nature that change with the seasons, making it a picturesque spot for photography and leisurely walks. The bridge's scenic attributes are enhanced by the rugged hills and intertwined woodlands, creating a stunning backdrop that contrasts sharply with the eerie stories that have come to define its history. When the sun sets, the ambiance of the Overtoun Bridge shifts, often enveloping the structure in a blanket of mist and mystery. The nearby trees stand tall and silent, contributing to a serene yet haunting atmosphere. Evening visitors are sometimes drawn by the duality of beauty and eeriness, feeling an urge to capture the feelings of serenity, wonder, and maybe even fear that linger in the air. In a world where reality and myth often intertwine, Overtoun Bridge stands as a testament to the power of narrative. The stories, whether rooted in truth or imagination, have sparked discussions about the unexplained and the interplay between animals and their environments. From the peculiar behaviors of dogs to the enchanting beauty of the Scottish landscape, this bridge serves as a portal to timeless questions about life, instinct, and the nature of experience. For those who wish to delve into a deeper understanding of the interactions between humans and animals, the Overtoun Bridge offers a unique case study. Observing how animals respond to their environments and the potential influences of the places they inhabit can provide insights into the connections we share with the natural world. While these mysterious cases provoke curiosity, they also inspire a deeper appreciation for the complexity of animal behavior. As you explore the narratives emerging from places like Overtoun Bridge, consider the intersection of history, environment, and emotion. Each story reveals the intricate ways in which we relate to the spaces we inhabit and the creatures we share our world with. The bridge continues to be a symbol of the unknown, embracing both the mundane and the otherworldly, effortlessly drawing visitors into its captivating lore. The Overtoun Bridge, therefore, is much more than just an architectural structure. It is a repository of stories, experiences, and questions that invite exploration. Whether you are looking to witness the enchanting views, explore the ghostly tales, or simply ponder the mysterious cases surrounding the canine visitors, Overtoun Bridge remains a destination filled with intrigue and wonder. The beauty of this iconic Scottish landmark is amplified by the complex narratives that swirl around it, capturing not only the imagination, but also the heart of those who dare to step onto its storied stones. Every visit to Overtoun Bridge can be a unique journey, filled with its own discoveries and insights. As you walk across the structure, take a moment to appreciate the natural beauty that surrounds you, and the whispers of history that seem to echo in the air. Whether you're drawn to the legends of canine behavior, or simply enchanted by the scenic landscape, the experience of standing on the bridge links you to the many stories that have unfolded in that spot over the years. Embrace the mystery, and let your imagination take flight as you discover one of Scotland's most captivating landmarks. In the heart of medieval England, amidst the lush green fields and rolling hills, an intriguing tale emerged that still captivates the imagination today. This is the story of the Green Children of Woolpit, a narrative woven with mystery, folklore, and a hint of the supernatural. The tale begins in the small village of Woolpit, located in Suffolk during the 12th century. It is said that during the harvest, local farmers discovered two children hiding near one of the village's wolf pits, a type of trap used to catch wolves. The children were found in the midst of the green undergrowth, their skin a peculiar shade of green unlike anything the villagers had ever seen before. Their unusual appearance was not the only thing that drew attention. They were also dressed in strange clothing, garments that were foreign and unrecognizable to the locals. The villagers were astonished and took the children to their homes. It was clear they were not like any ordinary children. They were frightened and could not communicate in English or any known language of the time. Many speculated about their origins. Some believed they could be the lost children of a fairy realm, while others thought they were the offspring of a distant land, or even creatures from another world. As time passed, the villagers began to care for the children. They provided them with food, which at first presented a challenge. The children refused to eat the regular fare offered to them. Surprisingly, the only food they accepted was raw broad beans, a staple crop in the area. The villagers eventually learned to prepare meals in ways that appealed to the children, gradually introducing them to different types of food. Slowly, the children began to adjust to their new surroundings. They learned to speak the local language and shared incredible stories about where they had come from. They recounted tales of a different world, a place where everything was green and sunlight was scarce. This land, they described, was always twilight, with a constant sense of dimness that enveloped their lives. Their home held no concept of the bright sun that warmed the fields of England, leading villagers to speculate about the nature of their origins. Curiosity about the children's background grew, and many theories emerged. Some villagers thought they were from a hidden community of people who lived in the depths of the forest, while others believed they might be the children of an alien race. In a time filled with superstition and wonder, the girls' green skin fueled the burgeoning imaginations of those around them. Old beliefs in folklore and fairy tales flourished as people sat around fires, recounting and embellishing the children's story. The children were eventually baptized, and as they integrated into Woolpit society, their skin gradually lost its green hue, a transformation that some interpreted as a sign of their acceptance into the human world. Over time, they adapted to their new life, learning trades and forming relationships. The boy remained rather reclusive, eventually disappearing from town records, while the girl became known as Agnes, eventually marrying and raising a family. The tale of the Green Children of Woolpit continues to fascinate historians, folklorists, and curious minds. Was it merely a story born out of the collective psyche of a medieval village, or did these events truly occur? Numerous theories exist, with some suggesting that the children may have had a medical condition that caused their skin to appear green, while others argue they were simply lost travelers from a foreign land who had an unusual diet. Regardless of the truth, the narrative inspires debates and discussions among enthusiasts of history and legend. It sparks the imagination of artists, writers, and filmmakers who see the potential for storytelling in this unique and enduring mystery. This tale emphasizes the allure of the unknown and our fascination with the strange and unexplained. The Green Children of Woolpit are more than just figures in a medieval story. They represent the timeless human quest for understanding and connection. Their presence challenges our perception of the familiar and the strange, making us question the boundaries of reality and belief. This medieval tale reminds us that sometimes, what we cannot explain can be just as captivating as what we can comprehend. As such stories have been passed through generations, they take on lives of their own, morphing into narratives that speak to the shared human experience of wonder and curiosity. Investigating the legends surrounding the Green Children of Woolpit not only brings the past alive, but also opens doors to imaginative explorations of other folklore and mythological creatures that populate the storytelling landscape across cultures. The mystery of their origins, their strange habits, and their spectacular color has inspired countless artistic renditions, from paintings to plays. While the historical authenticity may remain elusive, the spirit of the story lives on, an eternal testimony to the fascination people have with the extraordinary. In every corner of the globe, tales of unusual beings abound. The tale of the Green Children fits into the larger tapestry of folklore, wherein many cultures recount the existence of beings who straddle the line between worlds. From the fae folk of Irish mythology to the elusive beings of Native American traditions, each story taps into the essence of our collective imaginings. As we delve deeper into stories like that of the Green Children, we discover not only the diversity of human experience, but also the universal themes that resonate with us all. The allure of otherness and the longing for understanding drive the narratives that bring us together. The story of the Green Children is one of many that reflects a yearning for adventure beyond the mundane, a quest for the extraordinary in our everyday lives. The enchanting tale of the Green Children of Woolpit not only signifies the mystery of the children, but also symbolizes the human condition itself. It challenges us to embark on our quests for knowledge, understanding, and acceptance. Perhaps, like the children, we too stand at a crossroads between worlds, where the ordinary meets the extraordinary and the realms of reality and imagination intertwine. In exploring the storyline of the Green Children, we embrace the beauty of storytelling, which has the power to connect generations, evoke emotions, and encourage us to venture beyond our comfort zones. So the next time we hear tales of the unknown, may we listen with open hearts and curious minds, for who knows what wonders lie beyond the veil of the familiar. In the quiet town of Circleville, Ohio, during the late 1970s and into the 1980s, an unsettling mystery unfolded that would captivate and terrify the community. It began with a series of anonymous letters sent to various residents, but these were no ordinary letters. They were filled with threats, accusations, and intricate details that suggested the writer had an unusual level of intimacy with the lives of those they targeted. As the letters grew in number, so did the fear among the townspeople. At first, the letters seemed to focus on family disputes and personal relationships, highlighting secrets that many believed were known only to those involved. The writer, who would later be referred to as the Circleville letter writer, sent a wave of anxiety through the town. Letters poured into the homes and postboxes of residents, claiming to expose their wrongdoing or malfeasance and warning them to change their ways or face consequences. The themes of the letters were often deeply personal, discussing private affairs and casting doubt upon the character of individuals. One notable letter which made headlines was directed at the local school board and accused members of misuse of their power. Such boldness led to public speculation about who could be behind these missives. A sense of paranoia took hold as neighbors began to suspect one another. Trust eroded, and friends turned into foes as the circle of suspicion widened. Law enforcement, initially treating the letters as mere annoyances, soon realized the level of concern and distress they had sparked within the community. They investigated but struggled to trace the origins of these letters, as they appeared to be typed, neatly addressed, and often used newspaper clippings to compile words, suggesting a significant effort went into crafting each message. Residents began to rally together in an attempt to uncover the identity behind these threats. Town hall meetings became tense gatherings, where people shared letters they had received and speculated wildly about possible suspects. The phenomenon was both alarming and strange, as the Postal Service found themselves inadvertently at the center of a dark community enigma. One family deeply affected by the letters was the family of Mary and Paul Freshour. In 1977, Mary received several letters, urging her to confront her husband, who was suggested to be involved in a local scandal. These letters escalated in tone, becoming increasingly menacing. While many dismissed the letters as pranks, Mary felt the weight of the accusations and their impact on her family's life. Paul, frustrated and feeling the burden of these threats against his family, decided to take action. After sending a response to the writer, which included a note suggesting he might know who she was, a series of incidents began to unfold. On one fateful day in 1983, a strange event occurred. Paul's life was turned upside down when he was charged with writing the letters. He was convicted and sent to prison, a victim of a letter campaign that had the breadth of an ancient vendetta. However, the story doesn't end there. Even after Paul's incarceration, the letters continued, suggesting that perhaps a greater conspiracy was at play, or that the true writer had never been caught. The community remained on edge, and new letters continued to surface, threatening various residents and recounting their deepest secrets. With tensions high, the hunt for the real Circleville letter writer pressed on. As time went by, there were rumors and theories about who could be sending the letters. Some pointed fingers at disgruntled former residents, others suspected a member of the law enforcement troops themselves. But no solid evidence emerged. The mystery and intrigue of the Circleville letters persisted for decades. Several residents, including former police officers and detectives, would later claim that they had unspoken suspicions about specific individuals, yet nothing ever turned into actionable proof. The letters would remain a part of Circleville's story, a grim tale of fear and uncertainty haunting a small town where lives were disrupted by the strange descent of anonymity that brought forth paranoia and suspicion. The legend around the Circleville letters evolved over the years, earning spots in books, podcasts, and documentaries, as people attempted to piece together the fragmented narrative. Stories of the letters were shared at small gatherings, where residents reminisced about the unease and how it shaped community dynamics. Circleville is forever etched in history, as not just a small town in Ohio, but a symbol of how secrets can transform relationships and how paranoia can fracture even the closest of communities. Theories developed, radio shows hosted discussions, and people continued to narrow down potential suspects over the years. Despite the passage of time, the identity of the writer remained shadowy, almost like a specter haunting the town, leaving behind an undeniable legacy of distrust and enigma. Ultimately, the story of the Circleville letters serves as a haunting reminder of how the anonymity of written communication can create a ripple effect of chaos, fear, and deep personal reflection. The quest to uncover the truth may never end, but the echoes of those letters linger on in the memories of residents, a ghostly presence intertwined with their everyday lives. The Voynich Manuscript is one of the most enigmatic books in the world. Discovered in 1912 by a rare book dealer named Wilfrid Voynich, this illustrated manuscript has puzzled scholars, cryptographers, and amateur sleuths alike for over a century. Its pages are filled with a mysterious script that has yet to be deciphered and vibrant illustrations that stir the imagination. Let's explore the Voynich manuscript in depth. First, let's talk about its physical characteristics. The manuscript is made from vellum, which is a calfskin parchment, and it contains around 240 pages. The codex measures about 23 by 16 centimeters and is filled with colorful illustrations and curious diagrams. Some pages feature strange, whimsical drawings of plants that do not appear to exist in the natural world, while others contain astrological symbols and detailed charts. The script used in the manuscript is an entirely unknown writing system. It is not similar to any other language known today, and deciphering it has proved to be an exceedingly challenging task. Linguists and cryptographers have taken various approaches to unraveling the text, employing everything from statistical analysis to artificial intelligence. Despite these efforts, the message within the Voynich manuscript remains opaque. Now let's delve into one of the most fascinating aspects of the manuscript, the illustrations. The drawings can be roughly categorized into a few sections. There are botanical illustrations depicting exotic plants, many of which do not seem to correspond to known species. Some enthusiasts propose that the manuscript may include representations of plants with medicinal properties, while others suggest that they were purely imaginative creations. There are also numerous astronomical diagrams within the manuscript. These illustrations showcase the sun, moon, and stars, as well as zodiac symbols. The layout often suggests a relationship between the celestial bodies and human life, a theme common in many ancient texts. The illustrations raise more questions than they answer. Were they designed for astrological practices, or did they serve another purpose? Among the most intriguing imagery in the manuscript is the so-called balneological section, which contains drawings of nude women bathing in a series of interconnected tubs or pools. Scholars have speculated about the purpose of these illustrations, suggesting everything from alchemical practices to fertility rituals. The symbolism of water, cleansing, and rebirth is potent and prompts a multitude of interpretations. The mystery surrounding the Voynich manuscript is amplified by its provenance. Wilfrid Voynich acquired the book from the Villa Mondragone near Rome. Before that, it is believed to have belonged to a series of historical figures, but the details remain sketchy. A famous owner was the Polish prince, Rudolf II, who was known for his interest in alchemy and the occult. This connection evokes images of secret societies and the hidden wisdom of the ages. A fundamental question that continues to baffle researchers is, who wrote the manuscript and why? Various theories abound, ranging from the plausible to the fantastical. Some scholars have suggested that it was authored by a medieval herbalist or alchemist, while others speculate it may have been created as an elaborate hoax. The sheer creativity displayed in the artwork and text has led some to question whether it was an attempt to encode a lost language or a cipher. Despite the countless hours spent analyzing the manuscript, few concrete conclusions have been reached. In the late 20th century, researchers like William Friedman, a top U.S. codebreaker during World War II, dedicated themselves to decoding it, but were ultimately unsuccessful. Contemporary cryptography techniques, including computer algorithms and machine learning, have also been applied, but have yet to unlock its secrets. The allure of the Voynich manuscript captivates not only those interested in linguistics or cryptology, but also enthusiasts of mystery and the unknown. It appears in books, documentaries, and even popular culture. The quest for answers has inspired countless people to embark on their own investigations, each bringing their perspective to the enigma of this ancient text. Interestingly, there are parallels between the Voynich manuscript and other mysterious texts from history. For example, the Roanoke Codex, an illustrated manuscript thought to be written in an unknown language, bears similarities in its ambiguity. Likewise, the Codex Seraphinianus, written in the late 20th century, is a modern example of a book that combines surrealist imagery with an invented language. Such instances remind us of humanity's inherent curiosity and desire to seek and understand the unknown. The ongoing intrigue surrounding the Voynich manuscript raises questions about the nature of knowledge itself. Why do we feel compelled to decode a text that may be meant to remain unread? What does this say about our quest for comprehension in a world filled with complexities we often cannot grasp? The manuscript embodies this paradox, a tantalizing artifact that continues to elude definitive understanding. As advances in technology continue to emerge, the hope persists that one day the secrets of the Voynich manuscript might be unveiled. New tools and techniques, such as improved imaging methods and pattern recognition algorithms, may offer breakthroughs that were previously inaccessible. In a world where information is increasingly at our fingertips, the allure of the unsolved, the unknown, draws us in. The Voynich manuscript stands as a testament to the mysteries that still abound, reminding us that the journey to uncover knowledge can be as illuminating as the knowledge itself. For many, the Voynich manuscript signifies the power of a single piece of writing to captivate the spirit and spark imagination. It teaches us about the limits of human understanding and encourages curiosity. In pondering what lies within the manuscript's intricate pages, we partake in an enduring human quest, the search for meaning, for connection, and for understanding a world that is, at times, shrouded in mystery. So, as we consider this enigmatic manuscript, may we appreciate the wonder of its existence and let it inspire us to explore the unknown, fostering a sense of inquiry and adventure within ourselves. In the serene landscapes of northern New Mexico, nestled within the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, lies the charming town of Taos. Known for its rich cultural heritage, stunning adobe architecture, and vibrant art scene, Taos has drawn visitors for generations. However, amidst its natural beauty and artistic allure, something mysterious resonates in the background, a low-frequency hum known as the Taos Hum. The Taos Hum is an unexplained phenomenon, a low-frequency sound that has puzzled both residents and researchers since it was first reported in the early 1990s. This persistent noise, which cannot be detected by all ears, has been described in various ways. Some individuals say it echoes like the distant rumble of a diesel engine idling far away, while others liken it to the sound of an underground train or heavy machinery. Despite its varying descriptions, many agree on its distinctive low pitch and an almost omnipresent quality. Interestingly, the phenomenon is not unique to Taos alone. Similar reports of hums have surfaced in locations around the world, including London, Bristol, and Cebu in the Philippines. However, the Taos Hum has become particularly famous due to the concentrated number of reports and the community's engagement with this auditory mystery. What's more captivating is that not everyone in Taos can hear this hum. It appears to affect only a small percentage of the population, leading researchers and locals alike to wonder about the origins of this puzzling sound. Several theories have emerged regarding the source of the Taos Hum. Some suggest that the sound may originate from local industrial activity, such as the nearby Los Alamos National Laboratory or the increasing number of geothermal plants in the region. Others speculate that it might result from geological activity beneath the Earth, such as shifting tectonic plates or underground water flows, which can create unique resonances. Despite extensive investigation by scientists and acoustic engineers, a definitive explanation for the Taos Hum remains elusive. Numerous studies have sought to identify its source, yet results have yielded no clear conclusions. Acoustic measurements taken throughout Taos revealed low-frequency sounds that occurred sporadically, not aligning coincidentally with local industrial activities. This has only deepened the mystery, as locals share anecdotes of being driven to distraction by the incessant hum, while others nearby remain completely unaware. The impact of the Taos Hum on the residents is not insignificant. Those sensitive to the noise describe feelings of discomfort, anxiety, and frustration, sometimes leading to sleepless nights. Some have even turned to alternative remedies and lifestyle adjustments to cope, from white noise machines to specialized soundproofing in their homes. For others, the hum has become an accepted part of life in Taos, a constant companion in the background of their daily experiences. In 1993, the phenomenon gained wider attention when a report entitled The Taos Hum, an investigation of the hum, was prepared by the New Mexico State University. Researchers traveled to Taos, interviewed local residents, and attempted to discern any similarities in their experiences. The report articulated the challenges of measuring a sound that is heard variably, but it also fostered a sense of community among those affected, as they shared their unique stories and findings. In recent years, the Taos Hum has captured the imagination of artists, musicians, and writers. It has inspired poetry, visual art, and even musical compositions that celebrate or explore the notion of an ever-present, yet unexplainable sound that permeates daily life. Artists have used the hum as a motif, an abstract representation of the unseen forces that shape our experiences and perceptions. Additionally, the curiosity about the hum has led some to reflect on the nature of sound itself and how our environments shape our sensory experiences. The exploration of the Taos Hum raises questions about how different individuals perceive their surroundings and highlights the diverse ways in which people make sense of the world around them. It provokes deeper thought about human perception and the intersections of sound, emotion, and environment. Furthermore, the Taos Hum is a reminder of nature's hidden symphonies, the subtle sounds that exist around us yet often go unnoticed. It invokes a sense of wonder about other layers of existence that we may not be attuned to, inviting listeners to consider how sound can shape experiences. Travelers often come to Taos seeking the hum, curious to experience for themselves this phenomenon that seems to encapsulate the spirit of the town. For some, it represents an intriguing piece of local lore. For others, it articulates a tangible connection to the earth and its mysteries. Local residents may find themselves sharing their stories with newcomers, creating a sense of community around the phenomenon. As you stroll through Taos's picturesque streets, one might find themselves pausing to simply listen. The gentle rustle of winds through the cottonwood trees, the distant call of birds, and the murmurs of conversations blend seamlessly with the Taos Hum. In these moments, the hum can transform from a frustrating nuisance into a symphonic backdrop, giving a voice to the landscape and reminding all who hear it that the world is full of mysteries waiting to be discovered. In the end, the Taos Hum is more than just an unexplained sound. It is a cultural phenomenon that reflects the town's character. It embodies the beauty of curiosity and the human quest for understanding the inexplicable. Whether a source of irritation or a comforting presence, the hum will undoubtedly continue to resonate within the tapestry of Taos for years to come, a fascinating chapter in the story of this remarkable place nestled high in the New Mexico mountains. It serves as an invitation to delve deeper into the mysteries of sound, perception, and the world itself, encouraging listeners to engage with the strange and wonderful mysteries that life holds. Engaging with the Taos Hum and the stories surrounding it encourages a deeper appreciation of the unseen elements in our lives, the sounds that form the underscore of our existence, and the wonder that each of us carries within. So the next time you hear a rumble or a distant low hum, let it remind you of the intricate layers that compose life and the stories that unfold quietly around us each day. Whether it hums with mystery or simply echoes the rhythms of life, embrace the experience and allow it to deepen your relationship with the world. We are surrounded by sounds that tell of history, of emotion, and of connection. Take the time to listen, and who knows what mysteries you might uncover in your own life. In December of 1948, a peculiar mystery unfolded on the shores of Somerton Beach in South Australia. A man was discovered lifeless, lying on the sand, and this event would spark one of the most enduring enigmas in Australian history. This unidentified man has come to be known as the Somerton Man. Despite numerous investigations and theories, his identity has never been definitively established, leading to widespread speculation and intrigue. The circumstances surrounding the discovery of the Somerton Man are both eerie and fascinating. He was found reclining against a seawall, his body carefully arranged, with no signs of struggle or disturbance. He wore a crisp suit and tie, which suggested that he had not been homeless or destitute. Surprisingly, all labels on his clothing had been removed, further deepening the mystery of who he might have been or why his belongings were stripped of any identification. The investigation quickly unfolded, bringing forth an array of theories. Officers discovered a small scrap of paper in the man's pocket, inscribed with the words Tamam Shud, which translates from Persian to ended or finished. This cryptic message turned out to be the final words of a book of poetry, known as the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. The book was later found in the glove compartment of a car parked nearby, its presence adding layers to the puzzle. As authorities tried to piece together the man's identity, they were met with a cold silence from the public. Facial reconstruction efforts and plaster casts were made, but none of the local residents recognized the Somerton Man. Frustration mounted as the investigation turned up no leads. Circumstances seemed to suggest that he might have been a traveler or perhaps someone with ties to international espionage, a theory fueled by his polished appearance and the context of the time shortly after World War II. Among many intriguing details, witnesses recalled seeing a suspicious man lingering around the beach area a few days before the body was found. This person was described as a foreign-looking individual, raising the specter of international intrigue. Was the Somerton Man a spy, and could he have been involved in classified operations, deep cover assignments, or an undisclosed diplomatic affair? Over the years, several theories emerged regarding his origin and background. Some suggested that he was an Englishman traveling the world, while others believed he could be of European descent. Investigators even looked into the possibility that he was from Russia or even a member of a clandestine society. However, each theory left investigators grappling with more questions than answers. The case drew broader public attention, becoming a media sensation as a tantalizing conundrum ripe for speculation. Many amateur sleuths from across the globe jumped into the fray, devising elaborate theories on the Somerton Man's identity, contributing to a communal sense of mystery that only deepened with time. The lack of conclusive evidence only intensified engagement and fascination with the case. In the 21st century, new forensic techniques have allowed investigators to revisit the case. Recently, DNA analysis has become a valuable tool in attempting to identify the man. Unfortunately, the results have yet to yield straightforward answers, reflecting the complexities that have surrounded this case from the start. The genes of the Somerton Man revealed what seemed like potential family connections, leading to new hypotheses about his identity. Analyzing the cultural context of the time frame in which the Somerton Man was found provides insight into the practices and norms of the era. In the post-war environment, travel was becoming more accessible, and the world was simultaneously opening up and shrinking. The Somerton Man could have been a symbol of those late-night train rides across the continent, or a drama unfolding against the backdrop of newfound global connections and dangers lurking in the shadows. The long-lasting impact of this case can be seen in its influence on popular culture. The story has inspired books, documentaries, and even podcasts, guaranteeing that the mystery would not fade into oblivion. The Somerton Man serves as a canvas onto which countless theories and imaginings have been painted, showcasing the human need to resolve the unresolved, to find clarity in uncertainty. The sea at Somerton Beach is a formidable and beautiful expanse. It ebbs and flows, nurturing the mysteries it holds beneath its waves. Those walking along the shore perhaps feel a lingering energy, a whisper of those who have come before. The solitary figure of the Somerton Man, forever captured in time, symbolizes the ultimate question: who was he, and what truth lies buried beneath the sands of history? As you delve into the various narratives surrounding the Somerton Man, let your imagination wander. Visualize the dreams that this unidentified man carried with him, the hopes and aspirations that are now lost to time. Each theory is a thread in the wider tapestry of his life, inviting you to explore the uncharted territories of mystery, identity, and perhaps even fate. In essence, the saga of the Somerton Man is not merely a story about a lonely figure found on the beach. It is a reflection of the human condition, our innate desire to understand, the ever-curious nature that propels us to seek meaning in the incomprehensible. This man's legacy endures, challenging both amateur detectives and seasoned investigators alike to unravel the cryptic layers of his existence. Whoever the Somerton Man was, his story continues to captivate us, reminding us that some mysteries resist resolution. With every passing year, his tale beckons a new generation to engage, to question, and to chase after the elusive threads of history. The age-old question remains, persistent yet ever-changing. What does it mean to leave no trace of oneself, and in doing so, leave an indelible mark on the world? What lies in the quiet spaces between our stories, waiting to be discovered? In the misty valleys of Norway, where the rugged terrain meets tales of mystery, a story emerged in 1970 that captivated the imagination and perplexed investigators. This is the story of the Isdal Woman, an unidentified female discovered near the Isdalen Valley, an area characterized by its breathtaking landscapes and dramatic cliffs. The tale begins on a cold November day when two hikers stumbled upon a charred body lying in the wilderness. What they thought would be a tranquil walk turned into a bewildering encounter that would unravel a series of questions without answers. The initial findings were shocking. The woman's body showed signs of being burned, leading investigators to suspect foul play. Nearby, personal belongings were scattered, including a large number of empty bottles that had likely contained alcohol, a few items of clothing, and an array of unidentified objects. Yet, perhaps most curious of all were the labels sewn into her clothing. They had been meticulously removed, a detail that raised suspicion and intrigue. Who was this woman, and why had her identity been hidden so carefully? As authorities began their investigation, they faced several challenges. The burned body had left little evidence for forensic analysis, and the absence of labels made it difficult to trace the origin of her clothing. Despite these setbacks, police conducted extensive inquiries, tracing a few leads that surfaced. Reports indicated sightings of a woman resembling the Isdal Woman in several towns across Norway, as well as in neighboring countries. Clues led investigators on an elaborate chase that spanned beyond Norway, hinting at a life steeped in mystery. To unravel the enigma further, authorities released details about the woman's physical appearance. She was described as being in her 30s, with dark hair, and of average height. A sketch was created based on descriptions provided by witnesses who believed they had seen her in the days leading up to her discovery. Yet, despite their efforts, the sketch yielded no significant breakthroughs. The trail was cold, and the shadows of uncertainty loomed large. Interestingly, the investigation took a turn when authorities discovered a notebook among her belongings, written in a foreign language, suggesting the possibility that she was not a local resident. The notes, however, were not decipherable, adding another layer of complexity to the case. Some speculated she may have traveled across Europe, possibly leading a life that somehow intersected with danger. As time went on and leads dwindled, the mystery deepened. A disturbing element came to light. The Isdal Woman appeared to have been involved in a life marked by secrecy. Witness accounts reported seeing her in the company of different men, leading to various theories about her lifestyle. Was she a traveler, an adventurer, or someone entangled in a web of espionage? These questions lingered in the minds of investigators, and public interest grew. In the following years, various hypotheses emerged. Some suggested she could have been a spy, given the context of the Cold War era. Others believed she might have been involved in illegal activities, utilizing her travels as a cover. Even more tantalizing were the claims that she could have been part of a subculture that lived outside societal norms, thriving in anonymity. As the decades passed, the Isdal Woman's identity remained elusive. Numerous appeals for information and DNA advancements yielded no concrete results. However, her story did not fade into obscurity. It evolved into a tale of intrigue that inspired books, documentaries, and discussions among mystery enthusiasts globally. The valley where she was found became a poignant location of pilgrimage for those eager to pay homage to the unknown. In recent years, advances in forensic science have rekindled hopes regarding the case. Techniques such as DNA analysis and genealogical research are now being employed to unravel cold cases, and the Isdal Woman is no exception. Investigators have not given up on her, and a glimmer of hope persists that one day her identity will be revealed, providing closure to a case that has lingered for over half a century. The Isdal Woman serves as a haunting reminder of how stories, like landscapes, can be layered with mystery. Each shadow on the mountain could tell a tale, each whisper of the wind could echo secrets from the past. As people continue to revisit her story, the Isdal Woman stands not just as an unidentified figure, but as a symbol of the countless lives that come and go without recognition, leaving behind questions that resonate through time, searching for answers in the quiet corners of history. There is a universality in her story that speaks to every wanderer. Her life, shrouded in secrecy, reflects the paths many take, often uncharted and unpredictable. It exemplifies the very essence of human existence, the desire to explore and understand, alongside the haunting reality of solitude and anonymity. In this ever-evolving narrative, the Isdal Woman endures as both a mystery and a reminder that while our lives may intertwine with others, some threads remain severed, leaving us to ponder who walks among us and the stories they carry beneath their surface. Will her identity ever be uncovered and her story completed? Only time will tell as we continue to dive into the depths of this enigmatic tale, inviting everyone to wonder and consider the possibilities that lie ahead, forever connected to the whispers of the past through haunting valleys and mountain winds. The Atlantean Empire, often labeled as myth or legend, occupies a unique place in cultural and historical discussions. Its enigmatic existence, first mentioned by the ancient Greek philosopher Plato in the dialogues Timaeus and Critias, has inspired countless generations of explorers, historians, and dreamers, leading to a tapestry of speculation and intrigue that remains woven into the fabric of our understanding of ancient civilizations. According to Plato, Atlantis was an advanced civilization that existed around 9,000 years before his time, lying beyond the Pillars of Hercules, what we now refer to as the Strait of Gibraltar. This mythical island was purportedly larger than Libya and Asia combined, showcasing a level of sophistication that surpassed most known civilizations of the time. Plato's descriptions painted a picture of a magnificent society, characterized by grand architecture, advanced technology, abundant resources, and a rich culture steeped in philosophical exploration and governance. One of the most striking features of Atlantis, as described by Plato, was its impressive capital city, an architectural marvel surrounded by concentric rings of land and water. The city was said to be adorned with lush gardens, sprawling temples, and magnificent palaces constructed from precious materials like orichalcum, a term whose precise meaning remains a mystery. This vision of a thriving metropolis evokes imagery of a grand civilization where art, science, and politics flourished in harmony, an ideal society governed by wise rulers who upheld justice and virtue. However, despite the allure of such a wondrous place, the depiction of Atlantis took a darker turn. According to Platonic philosophy, the Atlanteans eventually succumbed to hubris, allowing their moral and ethical values to erode. Plato suggested that, in their pursuit of power and material wealth, the Atlanteans lost sight of their noble beginnings. This betrayal of their principles led to their downfall, with Atlantis disappearing into the depths of the ocean, swallowed by catastrophic floods and earthquakes. The tale serves as a stark warning about the perils of arrogance and the moral decay that can accompany prosperity. Plato's narrative has ignited a frenzy of theories about the possible geographical location of Atlantis. Some scholars and explorers have proposed that it may have been situated in the Mediterranean, linking it to places like Crete or Malta. Others have ventured further afield, suggesting locations as diverse as the Caribbean, Antarctica, or even the polar regions. Each theory contributes to the allure of Atlantis and underscores humanity's enduring fascination with lost worlds. Throughout history, many have sought tangible evidence of this fabled land. Various archaeological expeditions have unearthed remnants that some enthusiasts believe to be linked to Atlantis. Artifacts, unusual structures, and submerged ruins have sparked excitement and debate, although mainstream archaeology typically regards these findings as coincidental or misinterpreted. As explorations of the ocean depths continue to advance technologically, the search for Atlantis has found new momentum. Techniques such as radar mapping and submersible technology allow researchers greater access to the underwater world, enabling the exploration of submerged landscapes that could harbor remnants of ancient civilizations. This modern approach aligns with a persistent desire to reconnect with our collective human past, a journey that evokes curiosity about what lies beneath the surface. The cultural impact of Atlantis extends far beyond academic circles, permeating literature, art, and popular media. From novels and films to video games and television series, Atlantis has become a symbol of lost knowledge and human potential. Many works draw inspiration from the myth, delving into themes of utopia, morality, and the relationship between humanity and the environment. These creative interpretations continue to captivate audiences, showcasing the enduring resonance of the Atlantean narrative across various forms of storytelling. The idea of Atlantis challenges us to consider the evolution of societies and their values. It raises questions about the cyclical nature of civilizations, reminding us that the rise and fall of cultures often tell profound stories about human nature itself. Perhaps, in pondering the fate of Atlantis, we reflect on our own world, its cultural achievements, and the delicate balance required to preserve it. Is it possible that our own civilization could face a similar fate if we neglect the lessons learned throughout history? In examining the evidence and narrative surrounding Atlantis, we journey not only through time but also through the realms of imagination. Each contribution to the conversation about this legendary island adds layers of complexity to our collective understanding of civilization, knowledge, and morality. The story of Atlantis may be rooted in legend, but its implications resonate deeply, prompting both fascination and contemplation about our path forward as a society. As we navigate this ongoing intrigue, it becomes clear that the Atlantean tale is more than just about a lost island. It serves as a reminder of the inherent human drive for exploration and discovery, the quest for understanding, and the search for connections, as we continuously seek to uncover the mysteries of both our past and future. Whether through myth or history, the legacy of the Atlantean Empire invites us to dream and wonder about what we might rediscover amidst the depths of our own lives and the broader world around us. The exploration of Atlantis transcends its own narrative, becoming a reflection of the human spirit's relentless pursuit of knowledge and meaning. It beckons us to explore not only the physical landscapes of the world, but also the landscapes of our thoughts, aspirations, and shared human experience. The legend of Atlantis endures, vital and alive, challenging us to delve deeper into our own understanding of civilization and human potential. In the realm of astronomy and the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, one of the most intriguing events is known as the WOW signal. This mysterious and unexplained radio signal was detected on August 15, 1977, by Jerry R. Eman, a volunteer for the Ohio State University Big Ear Radio Telescope. The signal has fascinated scientists, astronomers, and enthusiasts alike for decades, due to its enigmatic characteristics and the questions it raises about life beyond Earth. To understand the WOW signal, Let's take a moment to explore its context. During the 1970s, the scientific community was actively searching for signs of intelligent life elsewhere in the universe. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence, or SETI, was at the forefront of these efforts. Radio telescopes were utilized to listen for narrow-bandwidth radio signals that might be produced by alien civilizations. The idea was that if extraterrestrial beings existed, they might be using radio waves to communicate, just as we do on Earth. The Big Ear radio telescope was located near Columbus, Ohio, and it had a unique design that allowed it to scan the sky over a wide area. It operated continuously, looking for any unusual radio emissions that could indicate the presence of extraterrestrial intelligence. On that fateful day in August, while scanning the Sagittarius constellation, the telescope picked up a strong and narrow-band radio signal that lasted for 72 seconds. What made the signal so remarkable was its intensity and frequency. It was detected at a frequency of 1,420 MHz, which is the natural emission frequency of hydrogen, the most abundant element in the universe. This fascinating aspect led some to speculate that the signal might have been a deliberate transmission from an alien civilization, as hydrogen is a universal marker that could be recognized by intelligent beings across the cosmos. Eamon, who was reviewing the printed data from the telescope, was captivated by the signal. In a moment of excitement, he circled the sequence of numbers and letters that represented the transmission and wrote, "Wow," in the margin. This simple exclamation is how the signal ultimately received its name. Despite the excitement surrounding the WOW signal, attempts to identify its source have yielded no conclusive results. Researchers observed the same area of the sky multiple times in hopes of detecting the signal again, but it never reappeared. This has contributed to the ongoing mystery surrounding the signal. It was not just the presence of the signal itself that was perplexing, but also the absence of any further signals. Many theories have been proposed to explain the WOW signal. Some skeptics suggest that it might have originated from a human-made source, such as a satellite or a terrestrial radio transmission. However, thorough investigations have since ruled out most potential Earth-based explanations. Other theories suggest it could be a natural phenomenon, such as a comet passing through the area, which might have emitted the signal. Yet no definitive evidence has been found to support this idea. The WOW signal continues to inspire theories and speculation among scientists and amateur astronomers. Some propose that it was a transient event, perhaps a reflection of a rare cosmic event that simply does not conform to our current understanding of astrophysics. The signal's brief duration, along with its unique characteristics, has sparked interest in the possibility that there may be more to discover about the universe. While the WOW signal remains unsolved, it has led to advancements in observational techniques and has encouraged scientists to examine our understanding of potential communicative behaviors in the cosmos. Advances in technology have allowed for more sophisticated searches for similar signals, broadening the parameters of what scientists listen for in the night sky. The fascination with the WOW signal extends beyond academic and scientific circles. It has permeated popular culture, appearing in books, documentaries, and films. The idea that we might not be alone in the universe is a powerful what-if scenario that captures the imagination and fuels human curiosity. The implications of discovering such a signal, coming from a distant civilization, would be monumental, raising questions about our place in the universe and our understanding of life itself. The WOW signal stands as a testament to the innate human desire to explore the unknown. As we continue to search the cosmos, listening for signals that might indicate life beyond our planet, the WOW signal serves as a reminder of the vastness of the universe and the mysteries that still lie beyond our reach. Each advance in technology, every new discovery, builds upon the foundation laid by events like the WOW signal, encouraging us to keep looking, keep wondering, and keep aspiring to answer the ultimate questions about existence in the universe. The WOW signal has sparked a legacy of inquiry that continues to this day. Conferences focused on searches for extraterrestrial intelligence, public discussions about the significance of such signals, and ongoing research projects all stem from that single, enigmatic pulse of data detected in the 1970s. In a way, it acts as a bridge connecting humanity to the cosmos, prompting inquiries not just into the nature of the signal itself, but into the various technological and philosophical implications of potentially discovering intelligent life. As we glance towards the future, With advancements in space exploration and astronomical research developing at an unprecedented rate, the spirit of the wow signal reminds us that the unknown is not a barrier, but a challenge to overcome. It encourages the drive for innovation, collaboration, and exploration, binding together scientists, dreamers, and curious minds who seek the answers to questions that have danced in our imaginations for generations. In the grand tapestry of existence, the WOW signal weaves a narrative of curiosity, discovery, and hope. It encourages us to look up into the night sky with wonder, contemplating the vast possibilities that lie among the stars. From the swirling galaxies to the distant, uncharted planets, the echoes of the WOW signal resonate with the idea that, in the words of famed astronomer Carl Sagan, we are, quote, made of star stuff. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence and the significance of the WOW signal tug at the fabric of human consciousness, raising timeless questions about the nature of existence and our understanding of life. Each inquiry leads to more avenues of exploration, more questions to ponder, cultivating a sense of interconnectivity that transcends the barriers of time and distance. As humanity continues on its journey through the cosmos, the WOW signal serves as a pivotal moment in the timeline of our exploration. It invites us to take risks, to embrace the unknown, to dream without limits, and to pursue the echoes of our curiosity throughout the universe. The story of the WOW signal is far from over, as every passing day offers new possibilities, new technologies, and new opportunities to unravel the mysteries of our world and beyond. Even now, as we delve deeper into the cosmos with powerful telescopes and multifaceted methodologies, the haunting question remains: what else might be out there, waiting to be discovered? Our quest for knowledge persists, and alongside it, we carry the spirit of inquiry ignited by the WOW signal. It is a reminder that even the faintest whisper from the stars can inspire generations, instilling within us the indelible urge to reach for the heights of understanding in the universe we call home. In essence, the story of the WOW signal is more than just a signal. It is a beacon of human curiosity that urges us onward, encouraging us to explore, to ask, and to embrace the wonders that the cosmos presents to us. On this journey, we learn not only about the universe around us, but also about ourselves, our shared humanity, and what it means to seek the truth among the stars. The Shroud of Turin is an ancient piece of cloth that has stirred fascination and debate for centuries. This linen cloth, measuring approximately 14 feet long and 3.5 feet wide, is believed by many to bear the image of Jesus Christ, specifically depicting the moment of his burial. However, the origins and authenticity of the shroud remain subjects of intense discussion among historians, scientists, and theologians. The shroud is thought to have originated in the Middle East, possibly during the 1st century. Its historical journey took it through various locations, including Jerusalem, Constantinople, and finally to Turin, Italy. The first documented mention of the shroud dates back to the 14th century. Since then, it has been housed in the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist in Turin, where it attracts countless visitors each year. One of the most compelling aspects of the shroud is the detailed image it contains. The faint, brownish likeness on the cloth shows a crucified man with features consistent with biblical accounts of Jesus, including wounds on the wrists and feet, a crown of thorns, and scourge marks on the back. This has led many to believe that the shroud is the burial cloth of Christ, with the image formed by a combination of bodily fluids and possibly some other physical phenomena. However, questions regarding its authenticity have persisted. In the late 20th century, radiocarbon dating tests performed by 3 laboratories seemed to place the shroud's origin in the medieval period, specifically between 1260 and 1390. These findings sparked significant controversy, with some scholars dismissing them as flawed and others insisting that they confirmed the shroud as a medieval forgery. Supporters of the shroud's authenticity contend that the dating was influenced by contamination from repairs and handling over the centuries, which could skew the results. Theories about how the image was created have also intrigued many. Some propose that it was created through a process of chemical interaction between the cloth and the body, possibly involving some kind of emission from the body during a supernatural event. Others have suggested artistic methods, claiming that it could have been painted or created using some form of early photography. This idea has moved many artists and researchers to experiment with various techniques to replicate the image found on the shroud. Additionally, forensic studies have taken place to understand the physical characteristics of the shroud. These studies have examined the bloodstains, determining that they are consistent with human blood. This discovery, along with the overall image aesthetics, raises questions about the processes involved in its formation. Some scientists have even pointed to the presence of pollen grains, suggesting a geographical origin that corresponds to the region of Jerusalem, thus hinting at its historical ties. The shroud remains an object of profound reverence, both as a religious icon and as a fascinating artifact of human history. For many people of faith, it inspires deep reflection, serving as a tangible connection to the events of the New Testament. Pilgrims travel from around the globe to witness its mystique, hoping to encounter something divine in its presence. The shroud's significance goes beyond religious contexts. It offers a glimpse into the broader questions of faith, science, and history. It challenges believers and skeptics alike to ponder the nature of evidence and belief. Is the shroud a holy relic, an elaborate hoax, or something entirely more enigmatic? The mystery surrounding it can inspire curiosity and wonder, delving deep into the intersections of culture, religion, and humanity's relentless quest for understanding. Artistic depictions and literature have been inspired by the shroud throughout the ages. It can be found in paintings, novels, and films, reflecting its cultural impact. Each representation brings new interpretations and insights, showcasing the diverse ways in which people engage with this intriguing piece of history. In closing, the Shroud of Turin continues to be a source of fascination and mystery. While the debate over its authenticity rages on, it remains a powerful symbol of faith and inquiry. Whether seen as an authentic relic of Christ, an artistic artifact, or a combination of both, there is no denying the shroud's continued relevance and the deep questions it raises about existence, belief, and humanity itself. It invites us to explore beyond the surface, searching for meaning in the fabrics of our histories, both ancient and contemporary. The Tacoma Narrows Bridge, which opened in July 1940, was an engineering marvel of its time and stood as a testament to the advancements in bridge design and construction. However, just a few months later, a catastrophic failure would change the landscape of engineering for years to come. This incident, widely known as the Tacoma Narrows Bridge collapse, became one of the most studied events in the field of aerodynamics and civil engineering, primarily due to its unique failure mechanism called aeroelastic flutter. Before we delve into the specifics of the collapse, let's set the scene. The Tacoma Narrows Bridge was located in Tacoma, Washington. It connected the city of Tacoma to the Kitsap Peninsula across the Puget Sound. The bridge showcased a sleek and modern design that epitomized the aesthetics of its era. It was a suspension bridge characterized by its slender roadway and elegant towers, designed to accommodate both vehicle traffic and pedestrians. However, its design, while visually impressive, would soon reveal vulnerabilities that had not been fully understood by its creators. Engineers and designers at the time were limited by the knowledge of aerodynamics related to bridge structures. The Tacoma Narrows Bridge was designed with relatively low structural weight, which contributed to its susceptibility to wind forces. Unlike the solid, heavier structures of many existing bridges, the Tacoma Narrows was slender and flexible, characteristics that would become its undoing. The design, utilizing lightweight materials and featuring a narrow deck, was influenced by aesthetic ideals but overlooked critical aspects of aerodynamic stability. On November 7, 1940, a windy day in the eastern Puget Sound region, the bridge began to exhibit alarming behavior. As winds began to increase, the roadway swayed and twisted dramatically. People began to notice odd movements. The bridge oscillated like a huge, undulating wave beneath their feet, and it didn't take long for the movements to escalate into something far more severe. Within just a few minutes, the bridge began to flutter in a manner that echoed the dynamics of a flag in a strong breeze. What is significant about the Tacoma Narrows event is the phenomenon known as aeroelastic flutter. This phenomenon occurs when aerodynamic forces interacting with a structure, in this case, the bridge, cause fluctuations that can amplify in intensity, leading to resonance. The bridge had not been adequately tested for the aerodynamic effects of wind forces, particularly at speeds that were common for the region. Engineers had failed to adequately account for how wind could interact with the distinctive design of the structure. As the wind speed increased, the bridge began to sway madly. This oscillation reached a critical point. The bridge started to exhibit torsional oscillation, a condition where twisting forces cause it to rotate around its vertical axis. This relentless twisting created extreme loads on the bridge materials, which ultimately intensified the structural failure. Witnesses described the bridge as a living entity, Some reported that it appeared to be dancing or swaying aggressively, sending terrifying ripples of motion throughout its length. The behavior of the bridge captured the attention of onlookers and engineers alike, as it became clear that something was not right. As the skies darkened, the bridge continued its erratic dance, finally succumbing to the forces that nature had unleashed. At approximately 11 a.m., the bridge finally gave way. The collapse was quick and dramatic, with the main span twisting as it fell, a scene that would become iconic in engineering history. Fortunately, due to the precautionary measures taken to close the bridge to traffic on that fateful day, there were no human casualties. However, the collapse left many stunned and raised numerous questions about how such a disaster could have occurred. Following the collapse, there was a surge of investigations into the causes and effects surrounding the incident. Engineers and scientists from around the nation became fascinated by the mechanics of the bridge failure. Researchers sought to understand the factors that led to such a stunning catastrophe and how they could prevent similar occurrences in the future. One of the most significant outcomes of the Tacoma Narrows Bridge collapse was the advancement in the study of aeroelasticity, which describes the interaction between aerodynamic forces and structural motion. In a quest for knowledge, engineers explored various factors including wind speed, bridge geometry, and material properties. They implemented more rigorous testing methods to analyze how structures respond to wind forces, leading to simulations and models that could predict potential failure modes. The lessons learned from the Tacoma Narrows Bridge profoundly impacted future bridge design across the globe. Engineers began incorporating wind tunnel testing as a standard practice when designing suspension bridges. They paid careful attention to the relationship between wind forces and bridge design, ensuring that structures would be tested for aerodynamic stability under various environmental conditions. This kind of testing has since become critical in preventing such failures. Moreover, the Tacoma Narrows Bridge collapsed served as a key case study in education and training for generations of civil engineers. Universities began to incorporate its lessons into their curriculums, ensuring that future engineers understood not only the mechanics of bridge design, but also the importance of accounting for environmental factors in their designs. Lectures, project assignments, and case studies concerning the bridge became common throughout engineering education. Interestingly, the legacy of the Tacoma Narrows Bridge didn't end with its destruction. A new Tacoma Narrows Bridge was constructed, with improvements based on the lessons learned from the original collapse. Completed in 1950, the new bridge featured design modifications that provided greater structural integrity and resistance to wind forces. It is still in service today and stands as a reminder of the progress achieved in bridge engineering and the intricate dance between structure and nature. The collapse of the Tacoma Narrows Bridge is not merely a historical event. It symbolizes the ongoing relationship between engineering, nature, and the limits of human understanding. It teaches us that even the most dazzling designs can encounter unforeseen circumstances, and that knowledge must continue to evolve with experience. The beauty and challenges of design remind us that every structure is part of a larger ecosystem, influenced by the forces around it. In understanding the past, we can better prepare for the future. The Tacoma Narrows Bridge will forever hold a significant place in the annals of engineering history, prompting a continuous dialogue about innovation, safety, and the intersection of human creativity with the natural world. By reflecting on these events, engineers and designers can ensure that the creativity of today remains rooted in the lessons of the past. In the late 1800s, in the small town of Annapolis, West Virginia, an extraordinary and chilling story emerged that would capture the imagination of many for generations to come. This story is centered around the mysterious case of the Greenbrier Ghost, a tale that intertwines the supernatural with the tragic realities of life and death. It all began in 1896, with the seemingly untimely death of a young woman named Elva Zona Heister. Elva was just 23 years old, full of life, and recently married to a man named Edward Shue. Their marriage, however, was anything but idyllic. Edward was known to have a temper, and there were whispers in the community regarding his behavior towards Elva. Friends and family expressed concerns, but at that time, the society was often reluctant to interfere in marital affairs. One fateful day, Elva was found dead in her home. Edward claimed that she had collapsed and died while preparing dinner. The circumstances surrounding her passing raised eyebrows, but when the local doctor examined her body, he proclaimed it a case of natural causes. It seemed as if the truth would remain buried alongside Elva, until a turn of events would entirely change the trajectory of the case. A few weeks after Elva's burial, her mother, Mary Jane Heister, began to have unsettling dreams. In her dreams, Elva appeared to her with a clear message. Mary Jane described Elva's spirit as appearing pale and distressed, revealing that her husband had actually killed her. In those visions, Elva recounted haunting details of her last moments, implicating Edward Shue in a horrific crime. She explained that he had attacked her in a fit of rage after a quarrel. Determined to seek justice for her daughter, Mary Jane approached the local authorities. She shared her dreams and the story her daughter had conveyed to her from beyond the grave. Many were skeptical of her claims, dismissing them as mere fantasy or the figments of a grieving mother's imagination. However, the story reached a point where it could no longer be ignored, and intrigue began to mount. A trial was arranged, bringing the community together as they sat in anticipation of what would unfold. The courtroom was filled with a mixture of disbelief, curiosity, and unease. More traditional evidence and testimonies were collected, yet the most compelling testimony came from an unexpected source, Elva's ghostly revelations. Mary Jane's unwavering conviction prompted the court to consider her daughter's posthumous testimony seriously. The details provided by Mary Jane about Elva's death led to a deeper investigation into Edward's actions, and the evidence began to pile up against him with greater clarity. Witnesses emerged, testifying about the couple's tumultuous relationship and Edward's violent tendencies. The local community scrutinized Edward's demeanor and actions around the time of Elva's death, leading them to question his involvement. As the trial progressed, the story of the Greenbrier Ghost spread far beyond the small town. It captivated media outlets, drawing spectators eager to witness a case where a ghost was the key to unraveling the events surrounding a tragic death. The argument presented by the prosecution intertwined with the ethereal testimony given by Mary Jane, painting a vivid image of a man driven to extremes. The trial culminated in a decision that would change the course of Edward's life dramatically. The evidence accumulated against him proved insurmountable. The previously ignored hints of abuse transformed into critical factors that the jury weighed heavily in their considerations. The court found Edward guilty of murder, and he received a sentence that shocked the nation. The case of the Greenbrier Ghost is emblematic of a unique intersection of reality and the supernatural, providing a remarkable view into the beliefs of the time. The backlash against Edward Shue was not just a result of the evidence presented, but also of the community's need for justice, a justice that, in their belief system, extended even beyond the grave. Mary Jane went on to become a local legend, her story entwined with notions of love, loss, and the belief that spirits might guide the living even when they are no longer present. In the years that followed, many have marveled at the idea that a ghost could testify. The Greenbrier Ghost case has inspired endless discussions about life, death, and the possibility of spirits continuing to reside among us, sharing their stories, and seeking retribution or peace. It has been recounted in various forms of media, from books to television documentaries, keeping the legacy of Elva Zona-Heaster alive and challenging our perceptions of life beyond physical existence. Today, the story serves as a reminder of the lengths to which a spirit might go to ensure that truth is revealed. It resonates with the understanding that love can transcend the barriers of time and space, capturing the profound connections we make during our lifetime. Whether viewed as a true account or a tale steeped in folklore, the Greenbrier Ghost remains a poignant narrative, reflecting humanity's greatest trials of justice, belief, and the enduring nature of the spirit. Oak Island, situated off the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada, is shrouded in mystery and intrigue. This small, unassuming island has captured the imaginations of treasure hunters, historians, and adventurers for over 2 centuries. At the heart of the legend is the infamous Money Pit, a site rumored to hold untold riches hidden beneath layers of water and dirt. The story of the Money Pit begins in the late 1700s when a young boy named Daniel McGinnis stumbled upon a peculiar sight. While wandering the island, he noticed a large circular depression in the ground, along with the remnants of what appeared to be a tree-covered platform. Excited by his discovery, McGinnis, along with his friends, began digging. They quickly unearthed a series of intriguing layers, including flags, stones, and wooden beams. Each layer suggested more complexity than the last, driving their curiosity further. What lay beneath these layers? Was there really treasure hidden on Oak Island? The boys dug down to a depth of about 30 feet before they reached an unexpected flood of salt water. The boys were forced to abandon their efforts. However, the legend of the Money Pit had just begun. Since that moment, countless treasure hunters have converged on Oak Island, each motivated by the possibility of discovering lost gold, jewels, or historic artifacts. Some believe the treasure hidden there belonged to pirates, while others theorize that it could be linked to the Knights Templar or even the lost manuscripts of William Shakespeare. Over the years, numerous expeditions have failed to unearth any significant treasures, leading some to think that the island is cursed or protected by supernatural forces. One of the most notable attempts happened in the 1800s, when a company of investors, seeking to strike it rich, spent a considerable sum of money digging deeper into the pit. They encountered the famed flood tunnels, a series of underground channels that seemed purposefully designed to thwart their attempts. Each time they advanced their dig, water would rush in, flooding the tunnel and forcing them to retreat. Several recovery attempts yielded stories of strange and puzzling artifacts, including old coins, tools, and more peculiar findings, but none approached the fabled treasure. The mystery deepened with each new expedition. In the early 1900s, the Oak Island Association invested heavily in the endeavor, bringing in specialized equipment and workers. However, after years of digging, their efforts ended tragically when several workers lost their lives during a sudden cave-in. The dangers of the money pit became apparent, yet the allure of the unknown continued to draw new adventurers. In the 1960s, the search reignited when a new group of treasure hunters, led by the Lagina brothers, embarked on their quest. Their television series captivated audiences worldwide, showcasing their latest discoveries while presenting a mix of history, geology, and adventure. The show highlighted the countless artifacts they uncovered, including a mysterious stone with strange engravings. Each new finding brought with it fresh theories about the island's purpose and the treasure's potential. As theories evolved, the legend of Oak Island morphed into something of a cultural phenomenon. People speculated about hidden passageways and secret codes, connecting dots to historic events and figures. Some believed the treasure was linked to the British crown, while others pointed to the Freemasons or even the elusive Spanish Francisco Pizarro. The variety of theories only deepened the intrigue surrounding the island, drawing more enthusiasts to its shores. Beyond treasure hunting, Oak Island has become a symbol of perseverance and the human spirit's quest for discovery. The stories surrounding the money pit remind us of our innate desire to uncover the unknown, to dig deeper, both literally and metaphorically. The failure of past expeditions speaks to the risks and rewards that often accompany the journey of exploration. Would-be treasure hunters have spent decades pursuing the dream of striking gold, yet what they often find are the ancient remnants of human ambition and folly. Even today, arguments abound over what the money pit may truly hold. While some skeptics argue that the treasure is nothing more than a myth, others remain convinced that hidden within the island's depths lies something remarkable yet undiscovered. The story of Oak Island continues to unfold with each new season and each new theory. As modern technology advances, so too do the tools available to treasure hunters. Ground-penetrating radar, sonar mapping, and even sophisticated excavation techniques have brought a new era of exploration to Oak Island. The promise of these innovations fosters hope that the elusive treasure might finally be unearthed, even after decades of concentrated effort. The island stands as a testament to resilience, where every shovel of earth excavated ignites the flame of curiosity anew. Rounding the island, visitors can appreciate its breathtaking beauty, dotted with its rugged coastline and vibrant greenery. In this serene landscape, it is easy to forget the treasure hunt that has raged beneath the surface. But for those with a keen sense of adventure, the spirit of exploration calls. The legend of Oak Island serves as a reminder to embrace our innate curiosity and the allure of mystery. Each story, each artifact adds to the rich tapestry of history, weaving a narrative that transcends time. Even if the treasure remains unfound, the journey itself offers a bounty of thoughts and reflections. The island has become more than just the site of a treasure hunt. It is a place where dreams are pursued, stories are told, and human determination shines. As new generations arrive eager to take part in the adventure, the legend of the money pit continues to thrive, ensuring that Oak Island will forever hold its place in the hearts and minds of those who dare to seek the extraordinary. Although this journey is fraught with challenges and setbacks, the allure of the hidden treasures beneath Oak Island remains undiminished. One can only speculate what secrets the depths of the money pit truly hold and whether they will ever come to light. Feelings of excitement and anticipation linger over the site, as many question whether the island is destined to yield its secrets or forever keep its treasures hidden. The quest for the truth behind the legend continues, spurring on a legacy of exploration and wonder. Those captivated by the story of the Money Pit carry forward its narrative, aspiring to discover answers that will finally piece together the complex puzzle of Oak Island and its storied past. Many dream of being the first to unlock the secrets of Oak Island, and with each new discovery, the history and legends intertwine with a deep sense of adventure. Regardless of the outcome, what remains is a timeless tale of ambition, hope, and the unyielding quest for discovery. This tale of Oak Island's Money Pit will echo through the ages, urging future generations to dream big and explore the unknown. The quest for answers will persist, captured by the love for inquiry and the thrill of uncovering what lies beneath. It reminds us that sometimes, the journey itself may be the most valuable treasure of all. In the heart of the Money Pit, whispers of the past continue to call out, inviting all who dare to embark on an adventure of a lifetime, reminding them of the age-old quest for treasure, a quest as timeless as the ocean waves crashing on the shores of Oak Island. Deep in the towering peaks of the Himalayan mountains, where the air is thin and the terrain is as unforgiving as it is stunning, there exists a legend that has captivated the imagination of many adventurers and explorers: the Yeti. This mysterious, ape-like creature, often referred to as the abominable snowman, has become an integral part of the folklore surrounding these majestic mountains. The Yeti is often described as a large, bipedal creature covered in thick white fur, blending seamlessly with its snowy surroundings. Imagine standing at the foot of a colossal mountain, where the wind howls and the snow swirls around you. In the silence of the fresh snowfall, the sudden snap of a twig might catch your attention, sending a shiver down your spine, as you glance up in hopes of catching a glimpse of this elusive being. It is said that the Yeti possesses incredible strength and agility, allowing it to maneuver effortlessly through the rugged landscape. The origins of the Yeti legend can be traced back to ancient times when the people of the Himalayas shared stories of a mysterious creature dwelling in the high-altitude regions. Sherpas, the indigenous people known for their incredible mountaineering skills, have long recounted tales of strange footprints found in the snow, which they attribute to the Yeti. These stories have been passed down through generations, evolving with each retelling, and have sparked the curiosity of countless explorers seeking to uncover the truth. One of the most famous accounts of the Yeti comes from the 1950s, when climbers attempting to reach the summit of Mount Everest reported sightings of strange creatures lurking in the distance. Photographs emerged, purportedly showing large, mysterious footprints in the ice. These images sparked excitement and controversy, leading to numerous expeditions aimed at capturing definitive evidence of the Yeti's existence. However, each attempt has left skeptics questioning whether the creature is a figment of imagination or a true inhabitant of the mountains. As you delve deeper into the lore surrounding the Yeti, you discover the varying interpretations of the creature across cultures. In Tibetan tradition, the Yeti is known as Migu, viewed not just as a beast, but a protector of the mountains and nature. Tales often depict the Migu as a kind, wise figure, guiding lost travelers to safety. This contrasts sharply with the more popular Western interpretation, where the Yeti is often represented as a menacing, monstrous figure. Exploring the stories of the Yeti is not just about the creature itself, but also about the landscape it inhabits. The Himalayan mountains are among the highest and most treacherous places on Earth, filled with breathtaking vistas, deep valleys, and perilous peaks. Every year, climbers from around the globe challenge themselves in these magnificent surroundings, driven by the allure of conquering the world's highest summit. Yet, amid this beauty, a sense of mystery persists. The Yeti has become a symbol of the wilderness, representing the unknown and the unexplored. As you imagine scaling the rocky cliffs and glaciers, the thought of encountering such a creature fills you with both wonder and a hint of apprehension. What if, just as the stories suggest, there really was a Yeti watching from a distance? Would it be curious, staring back at you with equally inquisitive eyes? In a world full of technology and explanation, the Yeti represents an age-old fascination with the enigmatic. It reminds us that there are still mysteries out there, waiting to be uncovered. As you journey through the tales surrounding this majestic creature, consider the fascination it holds not only for adventurers, but also for those who relish in the thrill of the unknown. The Yeti has also inspired countless movies, books, and documentaries, further embedding it into popular culture. From animated films to serious documentaries, the story of the Yeti continues to adapt, weaving itself into modern narratives while maintaining its roots in ancient lore. Each representation brings a new dimension to the creature, transforming it from a mere legend into a figure that resonates with audiences around the world. As the tale of the Yeti unfolds through the ages, it serves as a reminder of the wonders that nature holds. The Himalayan wilderness, with its towering peaks and vast expanses, invites exploration and contemplation while holding on to its secrets. Imagine standing at the edge of a pristine glacier, the crisp air filling your lungs, and the call of the adventure echoing in your heart. Each turn of the path opens new views of the shimmering mountain ranges, each viewpoint a snapshot of the magical world around you. The Yeti legend thrives on the idea that not everything can be explained or understood. In an age where technology allows us to uncover vast amounts of information and solve many of the mysteries that once perplexed humanity, the idea of the Yeti remains tantalizingly out of reach. It invites each of us to ponder the limits of our understanding of nature and the possibility that there is still much to learn about the world we inhabit. To this day, researchers and enthusiasts continue to study and search for evidence of the Yeti. They scour the mountains, scouring thousands of square miles of rugged terrain, driven by the hope that a simple footprint or a clump of fur might finally provide that long-awaited proof. Alternatively, some believe that the true essence of the Yeti extends beyond physical evidence, that it symbolizes the spirit of exploration itself. As you reflect upon the legend of the Yeti, allow yourself to imagine the serenity of the Himalayas, where the sun kisses the snowy caps and the winds whisper tales of ancient mysteries. Picture yourself on a journey to discover not only the Yeti, but also a deeper connection with the beauty and grandeur of nature. This incredible landscape, rich with history and stories, resonates with the heartbeat of adventure, reminding us all of a world filled with wonders waiting to be explored. Let the Yeti inspire your wanderlust, your thirst for stories untold, and your belief in the magic that still exists in the most unexpected places. Embrace the thrill of the journey, the joy of exploration, and let your imagination wander through the enigmatic realm of the Himalayan mountains, where legends linger and mysteries await. In the annals of American crime, few stories capture the imagination quite like that of D.B. Cooper, an elusive figure whose legend has grown with each passing year. The tale begins on the evening of November 24, 1971, when a man who had become known only as D.B. Cooper boarded a flight from Portland, Oregon to Seattle, Washington. The flight was a routine trip on Northwest Orient Airlines, specifically Flight 305, a Boeing 727, carrying 36 passengers and a crew of 6. Little did anyone know that by the time they reached their destination, they would be part of a story that would puzzle investigators and thrill the public for decades to come. As the plane climbed to cruising altitude, the man, who appeared to be in his mid-40s, ordered a bourbon and soda. He dressed sharply in a black suit and tie, and had an air of confidence about him. After consuming his drink, he handed a note to a flight attendant. Initially, she thought it was a love letter, but upon reading it, she realized it was a demand. The note stated that he had a bomb and would use it unless certain conditions were met. He revealed a briefcase, which he claimed contained explosives. Though the flight attendant didn't see the bomb, the implication was clear. Cooper's demands were straightforward. He wanted 4 parachutes, 000 in cash, and a guarantee that his escape would be safe. The flight crew relayed the demands to the authorities once they landed in Seattle. While the event took place in the temperate Pacific Northwest, it had all the makings of a Hollywood thriller. The FBI swiftly took action, surrounding the airport. They began working to meet Cooper's demands, while keeping the passengers calm. Meanwhile, Cooper continued to maintain his composed demeanor, insisting on specific conditions regarding the handling of the cash and the parachutes. During the tense negotiations, authorities worked feverishly to gather the ransom money, while Cooper himself kept the passengers informed to a degree. He reassured them all that they would be safe, and when the authorities complied with his demands, he allowed the passengers to disembark in Seattle. They were unharmed, but they left the plane with an extraordinary story to tell. With the ransom securely in hand, Cooper now turned to the next phase of his plan. He instructed the remaining crew to fly toward Mexico City, taking off after the passengers had safely exited. There was a catch, however. Cooper had specific altitude and speed requests that were rather unusual for a commercial flight. The pilots were ordered to keep the plane at a lower altitude, a condition that would make his escape easier. As the flight carried on, Cooper's cool-headedness started to develop a sense of infamous intrigue. Around 8 p.m., as the crew was flying over the rugged landscape of Washington State, Cooper suddenly vanished. He activated the rear staircase of the aircraft and jumped into the dark night, with that substantial amount of cash in tow. The Boeing 727 continued to fly for a short time before landing safely back in Seattle. The FBI commenced a massive investigation, combing through the area Cooper had jumped in hopes of finding any trace of him or the money. They partnered with local authorities and expanded their search radius, but despite their best efforts, the man had seemingly vanished into thin air. No parachute, no ransom money, and no real trace of Cooper himself. The authorities found only a small package containing a couple of items Cooper had left behind aboard the plane. The legendary tale of D.B. Cooper took on a life of its own in the years that followed. It inspired countless theories about the man's identity and his motives. Who was Cooper? Did he have military training, given his parachuting skills? Was he a mastermind or an opportunist? What happened to him after his daring leap? As investigations continued, the FBI classified the case as one of their most intriguing unsolved mysteries. They even released sketches based on eyewitness descriptions, leading to numerous leads and suggestions from the public. Over the years, many potential suspects emerged. Some were avid adventurers, others were people with military backgrounds. Each new piece of information only added to the tapestry of speculation surrounding Cooper's identity and fate. Despite years of searching and countless leads, no credible evidence emerged to solve the riddle of D.B. Cooper. It became a cultural phenomenon, inspiring books, documentaries, and even movies. The case has often been referred to in discussions about criminal psychology, public fascination, and human behavior. The story of D.B. Cooper transcended the boundaries of typical hijacking scenarios. It became entwined in the fabric of American folklore. In a twist of fate, several years after the hijacking, a child stumbled upon a package along the Columbia River that contained $800 in cash. It sparked hope that maybe this was a piece of the puzzle. When the serial numbers on the bills were traced, they were confirmed to be part of Cooper's ransom. Yet, even this find only deepened the enigma. Who had hidden the money? Was it Cooper himself or someone else who found it after his daring escape? As the decades rolled on, the D.B. Cooper case began to take on a life of its own in public consciousness. Arbitrary anniversaries of the event often drew renewed interest, and amateur sleuths regularly attempted to piece together Cooper's story. The ambiguity of Cooper's fate and identity allowed for endless speculation and intrigue. Some believed he perished in the wilderness, while others took to the conspiracy theories that he could have lived on for years. The D.B. Cooper case is often considered one of history's greatest or most infamous unsolved mysteries. Each hypothesis about his possible fate and continued life only serves to enkindle interest and stimulate discussions. The unanswered questions remain tantalizing. What did he look like? Did he escape with the money? Did he start anew or succumb to the elements? It is a tale of daring, mystery, and perhaps an unwavering belief that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when faced with daunting obstacles. The name D.B. Cooper still resonates within popular culture, embodying allure, danger, and the timeless human connection to risk and reward. The mystery of the man who vanished after a bank heist from the sky is a reminder of stories that live beyond their time, intriguing generations yet to come. Even years later, the fascination with this unsolved case endures. Numerous documentaries have revisited the narrative, exploring theories and attempts to crack the infamous case that has gripped so many. The search for Cooper and the truth about that day remains a captivating adventure, echoing through the fabric of popular stories in America and beyond. As you listen to this recounting of a day that forever altered the history of air travel and criminal dynamics within the United States, consider how a single act of defiance can inspire myriad interpretations. This mystifying case reminds us of the unexpected twists life can take, and how sometimes the answers we seek can remain forever out of reach, much like D.B. Cooper himself. The Moai statues of Easter Island, also known as Rapa Nui, are some of the most iconic and enigmatic symbols of human creativity and ingenuity. Scattered across this remote and isolated island in the southeastern Pacific Ocean, these colossal stone figures stand silently, gazing toward the horizons as if holding secrets of the past. Each moai is a testament to the islanders' dedication, artistry, and connection to their ancestors. Easter Island is perhaps one of the most isolated populated islands in the world. With its nearest neighbor more than 1,200 miles away, the island was settled by Polynesian voyagers. As they arrived, the settlers began to carve out a unique culture that thrived for centuries, one that revolved around their connection to the land, the sea, and the spirits of their forefathers. The Moai statues were constructed during a time when the society was flourishing, leading to the creation of over 800 of these remarkable figures. The Moai are more than mere stone carvings. They are believed to represent ancestors or chief figures. The Rapa Nui people infused these statues with their own cultural significance, worshipping them as powerful representations of their lineage. The creators spent decades refining their skills in carving and transporting these massive figures, which vary in size with some towering over 30 feet tall and weighing dozens of tons. Construction of a Moai begins with selecting the right volcanic stone, primarily tuff, which was quarried from the Rano-Raraku quarry. Imagine skilled artisans chiseling away at the rock, their tools clanging and echoing in the quarry as each respected figure gradually takes shape. The Moai were crafted directly at the quarry and later transported across the island to their destination. This process is still a subject of fascination and debate among historians and archaeologists, as the methods used for transportation remain largely speculative. How did they move these massive statues? One theory suggests that they leveraged tree trunks to roll the Moai across the ground. Another posits that they used a sophisticated method of walking the statues upright, using ropes and coordinated teamwork to walk them to their locations. Scientists have conducted experiments that suggest multiple ways could have been employed, but no one method has been conclusively proven. The mystery is part of what makes the Moai so intriguing. Once the Moai reached their final resting places, they were often positioned on stone platforms called ahu, which served as ceremonial sites. The positioning of the statues also holds cultural significance, as many face towards the villages, symbolizing guardianship over the inhabitants. As you explore these sites today, picture the vibrant ceremonies held in their honor, where community members gathered to celebrate and pay homage to their ancestors. Interestingly, the cultural landscape of Easter Island evolved drastically over centuries. As the island's population grew and resource consumption increased, deforestation began to take its toll on the land. The hardwood trees were crucial for many aspects of Rapa Nui life, including the transportation of the Moai. As trees disappeared, the complexity of moving the statues only grew. Communities faced internal conflict, leading to a decline in Moai production and a shift in societal focus. The arrival of Europeans in the 18th century introduced a new set of challenges for the inhabitants. While early visitors were fascinated by the statues, they also brought diseases and other hardships that devastated the Rapa Nui population. In the wake of these changes, many Moai were toppled or abandoned, a solemn reminder of the island's shifting fortunes. Importantly, the islanders fought to retain their identity and culture amid these turbulent changes. In the 20th century, there was a renewed interest in the Moai and the broader Rapa Nui culture. Archaeological research, conservation efforts, and revitalization of traditions led to a new appreciation for the significance of these statues. Today, visitors from around the globe flock to Easter Island, eager to witness these magnificent creations. As you stand before a towering Moai, you're not just gazing at stone, you're looking into the soul of a culture that thrived in one of the most remote places on the planet. Touring the island unveils the breathtaking landscapes that frame the Moai, with rolling hills, volcanic craters, and windswept shores serving as a backdrop to this unique experience. You can wander through the quarry where the statues were birthed and gaze upon the partially completed figures still nestled in the rock face. It's easy to imagine the artisans at work, with tools that forge not only stone, but also a sense of community and identity. Even today, the Moai remain a profound source of inspiration and curiosity. Scholars, artists, and travelers alike ponder their existence and legacy, even diving into the myths and legends that surround the figures. One popular legend tells of the Birdman cult that rose after the age of the Moai, shifting power from the ancestral statues to a more dynamic system of leadership, where individuals competed to become the Birdman, a title bestowed upon the victor of dangerous competitions. As we continue to explore our world and uncover stories tied to cultures and their legacies, the Moai statues stand as a powerful reminder of humanity's artistic spirit and connections to ancestry. They remind us of the ingenuity with which societies adapt and evolve, sometimes in strikingly beautiful ways, and sometimes under the pressure of circumstances beyond their control. Through the ages, these mystical statues have transcended time, captivating our imaginations with their sheer grandeur and the mysteries of their existence. The saga of the Moai is not merely about stone and skill, It reflects the profound narratives of love, loss, and survival, along with a deep connection to the earth and the cosmos. Each statue tells a story, bearing witness to the island's rich heritage and the indomitable spirit of a people forever intertwined with their monumental works of art. In contemplating the moai, we are prompted to think about our own legacies. What stories do we want to tell? What marks will we leave behind? Just as the Rapa Nui celebrated their ancestors through these statues, we too can honor our own stories, striving for creativity, resilience, and a lasting connection to those who came before us. Whether through art, culture, or our daily lives, may we find ways to reflect our unique places in history, much like the enduring moai of Easter Island. In the early 19th century, a mysterious cipher became the focal point of one of America's most tantalizing treasure stories. This is the saga of the Beale Ciphers, a trio of ciphertexts supposedly leading to a hidden treasure buried in the hills of Virginia. The tale begins in the early 1820s with a man named Thomas J. Beale, who allegedly found a vast treasure while traveling westward. The story suggests that this treasure originated from gold and silver mines in the Rocky Mountains, and that Beale, discovering this fortune, decided to conceal it to protect it from those who would seek to take it. Beale is thought to have buried the treasure in a secret location in Bedford County, Virginia, somewhere near a site called Beale's Grave. Before disappearing, Beale took precautionary steps to safeguard the location and details regarding the treasure. The first step was to create a key that would decode the precise location of the treasure, which he entrusted to a friend for safekeeping. This friend, finding himself caught up in the intrigues of life, would not attempt to solve the ciphers until many years later. When Beale's friend Robert Morris finally decided to unravel the mystery, he discovered a series of ciphers that were completely incomprehensible. Morris was determined to reveal Beale's secret. The first two of these ciphers provided the description of the treasure and its location, while the third cipher revealed the names of people who would inherit Beale's fortune. When Morris attempted to understand these mysterious symbols, he was bewildered. Desperate to decode them, he sought help from various individuals, but the ciphers proved elusive and resided in the realm of enigma for much of history. The first cipher consists of 90 characters, the second has 126, and the third encompasses 87. The story captures the imagination, sparking curiosity about what lies behind the symbols. The distinctive nature of these codes arises from how they are formed. The ciphers use a simple substitution technique, where each letter corresponds to a number. However, the technique relies on a text, known as the Declaration of Independence, which allows for the deciphering of the codes. Some amateur cryptologists assert that this approach is the key to breaking the code. The hunt for the Beale treasure has drawn in amateur treasure hunters and cryptographers alike, with numerous enthusiasts dedicating countless hours to deciphering what remains unsolved. However, these decryption efforts often lead to debates and controversies. Many theories abound regarding the meaning of the ciphers. Some speculate that they reveal a stash of gold estimated to be worth millions in today's currency, while others believe the treasure never existed, or that it could simply be an elaborate hoax by Beale himself. Amidst the treasure hunting lore, the allure of the Beale ciphers does not rely just on potentially uncovering gold and jewels, but rather on the thrill of the challenge. Cryptography itself offers an exciting intellectual pursuit, drawing on both mathematics and linguistics. Cryptologists utilize various methods such as frequency analysis, pattern recognition, and historical context in their quest to uncover secrets hidden behind the letters. As urban legends and stories evolve, so does the narrative surrounding the Beale ciphers. For enthusiasts, the excitement often lies in the tale itself, combined with a sense of adventure in pursuing a mystery that has withstood the test of time. Reports indicate that interest in the ciphers surged with the publication of a pamphlet in the 1880s. This pamphlet provided potential solvers with the encrypted messages, but also introduced them to a captivating tale of fortune and intrigue. This legend spurred journeys to Virginia's Bedford County, where thrill-seekers wandered the mountainous terrain searching for clues and exploring the landscape in hopes of stumbling upon buried treasure. The journey itself became a significant part of the experience, as individuals traversed through dense forests and rocky trails, becoming a living piece of the treasure lore. As with many mysteries in life, the story of the Beale ciphers brings together diverse elements: human ambition, adventure, and the unearthing of the past. Each new generation wrestles with the enigma, bringing fresh insights or wild theories to the ongoing discussion. What compels individuals to seek answers? Is it merely the temptation of material wealth, or does the pursuit of knowledge inspire curiosity? Perhaps it's a blend of both, threading through the shared human experience. In modern times, these codes continue to inspire novels, movies, and documentaries. Each retelling adds layers to the story, with various interpretations of what might lay behind the ciphers. For some, the idea of a treasure trove is romantic, laden with possibilities of adventure, while others delve deep into the historical significance and what these ciphers mean within the broader scope of American folklore. The beauty of the Beale Ciphers persists in their complexity and the layers of mystery surrounding them. They call out to cryptographers and casual enthusiasts alike. With each new attempt to decode the messages, there lies a chance to rekindle excitement and wonder. Whether the treasure is ever uncovered or remains concealed, the fascination with the Beale Ciphers enriches the stories of those brave enough to chase the mystery. As communication techniques evolve, the foundational art of ciphering continues to capture attention, ever twisting the tale of treasure that has yet to reveal itself fully. Years later, as the quest for the Beale treasure continues, the cryptic messages serve as a reminder of an era when adventure awaited those willing to venture into the unknown. The Beale Ciphers remain a powerful testament to the allure of secrecy and the indomitable spirit of exploration that drives humanity to seek out what is hidden, be it in the world or within themselves. As conversations continue around these ciphers, they provoke thought, inspire narratives, and excite the imagination, highlighting the complexities of human desires and the uniqueness of our collective history. All the while, they stand unyielding as an unsolved puzzle, waiting for someone to decrypt them and unveil the mystery of Thomas Beale's storied treasure, buried or lost to the winds of time. In the vast, mysterious depths of the ocean, secrets linger beneath the waves. One of the most intriguing sounds captured by researchers is known as the bloop. This enigmatic noise was detected in 1997 by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, and it has sparked curiosity, debates, and theories ever since. Imagine a sound so powerful and profound that it can be heard over thousands of kilometers. The bloop is exactly that. It was recorded by a network of underwater microphones known as hydrophones, which were primarily established to monitor any potential nuclear activity. These sensitive devices are designed to pick up a wide range of sounds, including those made by marine life, ice movements, and even seismic activity. But on that fateful day in 1997, they picked up something that was entirely different, something large and unknown. The bloop's frequency was in the range typically associated with icebergs breaking, yet the characteristics of the sound left scientists puzzled. As they reviewed the data, they noted that it was unlike anything they had encountered before. The initial interpretation suggested that it might be the sound of ice calving, a phenomenon where large sections of ice break away from glaciers. However, the distinct nature of the bloop, which seemed to resonate with a tonal quality, led researchers to explore other possibilities. Over the years, there has been a plethora of theories regarding the source of the bloop. Some suggest it might have been the colossal movements of ice in the Antarctic, while others have speculated that it could be the result of underwater volcanic activity. There have also been wilder theories, reaching into the realm of the unknown. Some have even considered the idea of undiscovered sea creatures, possibly enormous beings that dwell in the ocean's depths, far from human sight. This notion has captured the imaginations of many and inspired countless stories, documentaries, and even fiction. The speculation about the bloop does not stop there. In an age where technology increasingly explores the depths of the ocean, the curiosity surrounding this sound remains lively. While research methodologies have advanced significantly since 1997, the bloop remains a well-remembered phenomenon. It leads one to ponder. What truths lurk beneath the surface? What dynamic ecosystems thrive in the depths that are yet unseen? Oceanographers point out that the deep sea is one of the least understood environments on Earth, and sounds like the bloop only underscore this idea. The ocean covers more than 70% of our planet's surface, and much of it remains uncharted and unexplored. With pressures immense enough to crush submarines in regions so dark that light cannot penetrate, the deep sea is an alien world filled with both wonder and mystery. Consider the vast variety of life that has already been discovered in these depths. Creatures like the giant squid and the anglerfish exist in a realm where evolution has adapted them to survive opposite conditions to those on land. Perhaps the bloop is just one of the many echoes of the ocean's secrets, a reminder of the wonders waiting to be discovered. As technology continues to evolve, the ocean floor becomes more accessible with sonar mapping, and remotely operated vehicles. Each dive unveils unique communities of organisms and interactions. It pushes us to challenge the limitations of our knowledge. The bloop stands as a testament to the hidden forces at work within our planet. It encourages us to rethink what we know about sound propagation through water. The ocean is an expansive medium through which sound travels differently than it does through air, creating a complex symphony of vibrations that speak volumes about our world's hidden dynamics. Listeners may be intrigued by the story shared not just of the bloop, but of other sonic phenomena like the upsweep or the whistle. Each sound adds to the canvas of the ocean's acoustics, creating a rich tapestry of audio that scientists continue to research. Some of these sounds can be linked to ice movements, while others have yet to find a clear explanation. Together, they unite to reveal the many mysteries of the sea. The adventure of exploring these mysteries lies not just in solving one sound, but in understanding the ocean as a whole. With each passing decade, researchers harness new technologies and methodologies that enhance our acoustic exploration of the ocean. Hydrophones remain an integral part of this exploration, offering insights into the distant sounds of the ocean, from the calls of whales to the groaning of tectonic plates. As we reflect on the discoveries made since the bloop was first detected, it becomes apparent that the ocean holds more than just fish and coral reefs. It harbors a deep history, telling stories of our planet long before human existence and continuing to evolve even today. This vast body of water connects all life on Earth, and with the ongoing research, we see glimpses of connections between climates, ocean currents, and the broader ecological systems. In conclusion, the bloop represents not just a peculiar sound, but an invitation to delve deeper into the vast currents of our planet's oceans. It challenges our perceptions and ignites our curiosity, reminding us that there is an entire world waiting to unfold beneath the surface. The exploration of these underwater mysteries reminds us of the artistry of nature and how much we still have to learn from the depths of the sea. The more we discover, the more we understand that the ocean is not merely a backdrop, but a vibrant world filled with mysteries, captivating our imagination and challenging our understanding of life itself. Stonehenge, one of the most famous prehistoric monuments in the world, stands proudly on the Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire, England. Its vast circle of towering stones has captivated the imagination of historians, archaeologists, and the public alike for centuries. The origins and purpose of Stonehenge have been much debated, and it continues to be a site shrouded in mystery. The construction of Stonehenge is estimated to have begun around 3000 BC and took place in several phases over the next 1,500 years. The initial stage of this monumental project likely involved the creation of a circular earthwork and a ditch that defines the outer boundary of the monument. The stones, known as sarsens and bluestones, were sourced from different locations, with the larger sarsen stones originating from the Marlborough Downs and the smaller bluestones believed to have been transported from the Preseli Hills in Wales, approximately 200 miles away. What makes Stonehenge particularly fascinating is not just its size, but its precise alignment. The monument is aligned with the movements of the sun, and during the summer solstice, sunlight pours through the stones in a way that attracts thousands of visitors each year. This astronomical alignment has led many to speculate that Stonehenge served as an ancient calendar or observatory, marking important seasonal changes and celestial events. But the question arises, why was such a monumental structure built? One theory posits that Stonehenge was used as a place of healing. Some excavations have uncovered evidence of human remains and artifacts that suggest the area was used for ritualistic purposes. It's possible that people traveled to Stonehenge seeking restorative powers or spiritual connection. This idea aligns with the historical belief in the stone's magical properties, as ancient societies often imbued natural formations with supernatural significance. Other interpretations suggest that Stonehenge was a ceremonial site for burials or a gathering place for communities. The presence of burial mounds in the surrounding area supports this theory. These mounds contain cremated remains and offer insights into the cultural practices of the time. The dead were often honored in elaborate ceremonies, and it is plausible that Stonehenge acted as a focal point for these rituals. Moreover, the construction of Stonehenge would have required a vast amount of labor and organization, indicating a level of social complexity and collaboration among the communities of the time. This effort suggests a society that was not only capable of monumental construction, but also understood the significance of collective identity and shared beliefs. As knowledge of Stonehenge has evolved, various theories have emerged about its purpose and uses. Some historians believe it was a religious site dedicated to ancestral worship, while others propose that it served as a meeting place for tribal gatherings or trade. The structure's impressive scale and alignment with solar events may also imply a connection to ancient agricultural practices, serving as a reminder of the cycles of nature that govern daily life. Modern archaeological techniques have opened new avenues for understanding Stonehenge, shedding light on its construction methods and the lives of those who built it. Ground-penetrating radar and other technologies have revealed hidden structures and potential features around the site, including previously undiscovered burial sites and circular ditches. This ongoing research continues to reshape our understanding of Stonehenge and its relationship with surrounding landscapes. Visiting Stonehenge today offers a glimpse into the ingenuity and determination of our prehistoric ancestors. The sheer size and weight of the stones provoke wonder and admiration as visitors ponder how such massive blocks could have been transported and erected without the technology we have today. The experience is not just about the monument itself, but also about the people who created it and the world in which they lived. Despite the significant amount of research conducted, many questions about Stonehenge remain unanswered. The mysteries of its origins and functions fuel the imagination and drive further inquiry. Each theory contributes to a richer narrative about the past, allowing scholars and enthusiasts to explore the intersection of culture, technology, and spirituality in ancient societies. In conclusion, Stonehenge stands not only as an architectural marvel, but as a testament to human creativity and the desire to understand the cosmos. Its stones whisper stories of our ancestors, their beliefs, and their aspirations, inviting us to unlock the secrets of our shared history. Whether as a place of healing, a ceremonial center, or an astronomical observatory, Stonehenge continues to resonate throughout the ages, reminding us of the enduring quest for knowledge and the profound connection between humanity and the universe. In the heart of West Virginia, nestled amidst the rolling hills and dense woodlands, there exists a tale that has intrigued and puzzled both locals and visitors alike. This is the story of the Mothman, a creature that blends the realms of myth and reality, and whose legend continues to capture the imagination of many. The Mothman is often described as a large, man-sized figure with wings that span wide enough to evoke an air of mystery and foreboding. Eyewitnesses have recounted seeing this creature perched on the edge of a building or soaring through the night sky, its glowing red eyes striking an eerie contrast against the darkness. Some have described it as a bird-like being, while others see it as something more sinister, evoking feelings of dread and uncertainty. The legend of the Mothman gained prominence in the 1960s, particularly in the small town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. The first reported sighting occurred on November 12, 1966, when two young couples were driving near a remote area known as the TNT area, a site formerly used for munitions during World War II. As they drove, they noticed a strange figure on the roadside, described as a human-like being with wings. Terrified, they sped away, and upon recounting their experience to friends and family, the tale rapidly circulated through the town. As more reports began to emerge, it became clear that the Mothman was not just a figment of imagination. Numerous sightings were reported over the next 12 months, each adding more layers to the mysterious story. One of the most notable encounters involved a man named Roger Scarberry, who, along with a group of friends, encountered the creature multiple times. Scarberry described how Mothman chased their car, keeping pace effortlessly as they attempted to escape. This gripping account, filled with a mixture of fright and fascination, only added to the aura surrounding the creature. However, what truly set the Mothman legend apart was its association with disaster. Just over a year after the initial sightings, on December 15, 1967, tragedy struck in Point Pleasant. The Silver Bridge, a vital connector between Point Pleasant and Gallipolis, Ohio, collapsed during rush hour, claiming the lives of 46 people. In the aftermath, locals began to make a connection between the sightings of the Mothman and the impending disaster. Some claimed that his appearances were a harbinger of doom, a forewarning of the collapse that would soon unfold. As the years passed, the Mothman became more than just a local legend. He transformed into a cultural icon. Books, movies, and documentaries emerged, examining the phenomena surrounding this enigmatic figure. One of the most popular works is John Keel's The Mothman Prophecies, published in 1975. Keel's exploration of the Mothman legend weaved together not only eyewitness accounts, but also delved into other paranormal activities occurring in the area, suggesting that Mothman was part of a larger tapestry of unexplained occurrences. The narratives surrounding Mothman extend beyond mere sightings. Many have recounted strange experiences, such as strange lights in the sky or unusual animal behavior. Some even reported feeling an inexplicable sense of dread when near the creature's supposed haunt. These bizarre tales add depth to the mythology, leading many to question whether the Mothman is an extraterrestrial being, an undiscovered species, or a manifestation of human fears and anxieties. Modern-day Point Pleasant has embraced its connection to the Mothman, hosting an annual festival celebrating the creature and its legend. Visitors converge to explore the various Mothman-themed attractions, including statues, museums, and merchandise. The festival features events such as guest speakers, live music, and even a Mothman costume contest, fostering a sense of community and intrigue around this peculiar tale. It has turned the local folklore into a unique cultural event that draws people from all walks of life, showcasing the enduring fascination with the unknown. Despite the passage of time, the Mothman remains shrouded in mystery. Sightings continue to be reported, though not with the same frequency as in the 1960s. Each new account brings a fresh wave of speculation. Are these sightings genuine encounters, or simply the result of overactive imaginations? With every story, the legend is kept alive, a testament to humanity's abiding curiosity about the strange and unexplainable. The legend of the Mothman serves as a reminder of the delicate balance between reality and the supernatural. While some dismiss the creature as mere folklore or a hoax, others firmly believe in his existence. The discussions sparked by Mothman continue to ignite interest in cryptozoology, the study of creatures whose existence is based on anecdotal evidence. This intricate dance between fact and fiction invites people to explore their beliefs and the unexplored corners of our world. Ultimately, the Mothman legend embodies themes of mystery, community, and shared storytelling. It urges us to reflect on our fears and the unknown, while drawing people together through a shared narrative. Whether as a cautionary tale or an object of fascination, the Mothman serves as a symbol of the complexity that characterizes the human experience, our desire to understand the world around us, and our need for connection in the face of the mysteries that still elude us. As the legend endures, it encourages us to look up into the night sky, where the possibilities are as limitless as our imaginations. Perhaps the next time you spot a shadow flitting through the trees or hear whispers in the night, you may find yourself caught between the tangible and the mythical, pondering the legacy of the creature that continues to soar in the hearts and minds of those who seek a glimpse of the extraordinary.